Hi, if you want to watch exclusive content with hot girls that is not on YouTube, namely, where Naruto roasts Kushina Mikoto and many other hot girls without restrictions, then visit my channel Busty and subscribe. By the link in the description. What do they give to children on their 5th birthday? For some a long-awaited dog, for others a brand new katana, and the very next morning you are taught how to wield it, and for others shurikens and maybe kunai. What will they give me? That's right, nothing. I am alone since birth. There was not a single person who would support me and look warmly in my direction. Only the 3rd Hokage brings me a monthly allowance every month. That's all, then I'm alone again. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt now. I have jet black eyes and the same hair. Everyone 4 or 5 years they have been afraid of me like fire. They beat me and humiliate me. Why I don't know, and will I ever find out. Fortunately, the librarian treats me neutrally and I can visit the library. Thanks to books, I learned a lot. I know the history of my village by heart. I also know all the dojutsu that exist in our village and their abilities. Our village has Byakugan and Sharingan. And oddly enough, all countries want to get them. I don't know, but why other countries didn't give birth to people with dojutsu like ours. Also, thanks to books, I awakened the so-called chakra center. It took me 4 months to awaken him. For me this is a very long time. Fortunately I spent a total of 1.5 months walking through trees and water. A Suri librarian calls me a genius even though I don't think I'm a genius. Just a boy who is interested in everything. I sat on a tree upside down and pumped my abs. This is a typical muscle building workout. After all, if I don't have a weapon then I'll have to fight with my bare hands. But without proper training and muscles, I'm nowhere. In addition to the abs, I train my arms and legs. I saved money from my benefits and bought myself some weights. After putting fuel on them, they began to gain 4 kilos each day, total 16 kilograms every day. And with these weights, every day I did push-ups, lifted stones, squats and ran around one training ground. By the way, I also learned Fuin in one of the books. As I thought, I belonged to the Uzumaki clan. This clan specialized more in Fuin jutsu, that is, seals. I have to give it my due. Fuin is a strong thing and it's not in vain that I learned a couple of Fuin. The Uzumaki clan was large and strong. Their territory was on an island and this same island was their country. And this country was called the Whirlpool. And one fine day this clan went out like a candle. The books did not describe who attacked this clan and who emerged victorious. But I will find out. I'll definitely find out. It was a clear day. I was sitting on a tree branch, not far from the training ground where I was training. I hid my chakra all the time because I didn't want to get beaten up again. And I woke up in a hospital bed. And then a guy came to the training ground. He practiced throwing kunai and shuriken, then he moved on to the art of wielding a sword or tanto. I started watching him. All these activities took him about an hour, and having finished his training, he left. I climbed down from the tree and went to collect the shurikens and kunai that this guy had left behind. Starting tomorrow I'll practice throwing them, Naruto said as he stuffed the kunai and shuriken into his pockets. And the main thing is not to cut yourself. Commentary on Chapter 1. Here's a new FIC, if you are interested then click. Waiting for sale. Chapter 2 Morning has come. I turned the shurikens in my hands, then I picked up the kunai and thought. Why do I live? I am an orphan, there is no one and no one cares about me. If only I would die. Okay, I have to go. I got dressed, took kunai and shuriken and went to the 16th training ground. It was farthest from the others and was also larger than the other polygons. Arriving at the training ground, I did physical training, after which I finally decided to try throwing kunai and shuriken. The first kunai hit the milk, the second hit the side of the target, and the third hit the 4th ring. Okay, now let's deal with shurikens. In general I still have to learn how to throw shurikens and kunai. I was not disappointed in myself, because this was the first time I had picked up a throwing weapon. Okay, let's go read a book. Arriving at the library, I took books about all edged weapons. 2 hours of persistent reading and I didn't understand anything theoretically. I didn't realize anything at all, as well as practically. Oh, green melancholy, let's go use our skills. Arriving again at the training ground, I stood in front of the targets and remembered what was written in the book. Having thrown the first kunai, I immediately threw the second. Result. Both are on the second ring. Only on the second, but you need not only 1 or 2 to be in the center, but you need everyone to be in the center, I said, collecting kunai. Tomorrow, you will need to buy pouches, Naruto reminded himself. I went to buy myself something for lunch. Having bought everything I needed, I went to buy a cookbook. Well, I won't eat any nasty stuff, right? After preparing myself to chew and eating it, I went for a walk around Konoha. Everyone, as usual, looked at me angrily. Parents pointed the finger at me to their children and told them not to even talk to me, saying that I was a demon. I'll go buy some pouches right now. Why should I wander around tomorrow? I'll just buy more kunai and shuriken. After going home and taking the money, I went to the store. There was practically no one in the store. Only 2 people, not counting me. After walking around the store and taking 2 pouches, I went to the mask section. The masks were all different, colored in black and white. I took the fox mask. It was almost entirely black. The mouth and nose are expressed in a white tone. There are 3 scars on the left eye and 2 stripes on the right ear. I looked at the mask until the owner and the store salesman noticed me in one person. "Did you like the mask, boy?" asked the seller, approaching me. "Yes, but what's the point?" I answered briefly. "What are you talking about?" he asked in bewilderment. "You, like other sellers, will now inflate my prices. The pouches alone will cost me 2 or even 3 times more. I'm not everything. I don't think you're a demon or anything like that. 5 years ago, while repelling the QB attack, did your relatives die?" asked him, turning to face him. I looked into his eyes. I saw sorrow and regret in his eyes. There was no life in my eyes. "You see, everyone who died in the war comes almost every day to take revenge on my soul. And oddly enough, they succeed," I said, grinning. "They think that with such actions they heal their wounds, but they only make them deeper." The seller was all downcast. "After all, someone died that day," I stated the fact. "But why don't you take revenge like the others? What's the point of this? By maiming or killing you, I will not bring that person back. You are much smarter than all these people," he said, grinning, and went to the cash register. "From you 400 real, each pouch costs 200. "I know, I look before I buy," I answered, putting on my pouches. "Can I have 10 more kunai and shuriken?" I asked him, walking away from the cash register. "Yes, sure. Will you train?" "Well, where would we be without this? At least I have something to do." There was no such thing as a childhood, always on the run, always in the hospital. "Here, your 10 kunai and shuriken," the seller said, packing my purchase. "How much do I have to pay?" 250 real. The seller handed me packages with kunai and a second shuriken. "Okay, thank you." I counted out the required amount and took the packages. Wandering home, I walked across the main street, turning into an alley and walking a little. I received a blow to the rib area. From the feet, I flew away, but still managed to stay on my feet. "Well, we caught you again, demon," said the drunken Chunin. "Yes, ready to rake again?" said the Chunin, coming out of the shadows. It was from him that I now got hit in the ribs. "Oh, are you kidding me? Maybe we should not." I moved my hand behind my back and put it in my pouch. I felt for the kunai and got ready. "Look," the demon whined. "No, it's necessary. Get ready to rake," said the Chunin, and ran towards me. I threw a kunai at him and hit him in the shoulder. After that, I took out another one and threw it at his leg, hit it right in the calf part. Realizing that I still couldn't defeat them, I ran towards the main street. Well, I went to the store, motherfucker. I ran around the corner and put a henge on myself. I became a guy of about 13 with blonde hair and brown eyes. I also changed my clothes. It was already blue and red. It doesn't look bad. I walked down the alley and then they tugged at my shoulder. "Hey guy," a breathless Chunin called out to me. "Yes? What's the matter?" I turned to face him. "Have you seen the guy here?" "Which one? Can you at least describe it?" Black hair, the same eyes, he was wearing a black t-shirt and shorts," said the Chunin, straightening up. "Oh, you're talking about a demon." "No, I haven't seen him, of course. I heard the clatter of steps and then the sound of a jump. Maybe he escaped like that." "Crap, gone. Okay, thank you," said the Chunin as he left. I also hurried away, and at the exit from the alley I took off my henge. Arriving home, I fell asleep. And here's a new day. As always, I woke up 8, went to the bathroom and went for a walk. Morning Konoha is much better than evening Konoha. No one attacks you or hits you in the ribs. Damn, the rib is broken. They beat me to death. Okay, let's go to the hospital, I said to myself and walked towards the hospital. Arriving at the hospital, the staff immediately gave me an angry look. "Well, look at your face, and you won't be sick, creatures. Why did you come?" the doctor said, dissatisfied. "My rib is broken, can you help?" I said and sat down on the bench. "Okay, come into my office, you know where he is, right?" The doctor looked at me with a grin through his glasses. Yes, I remember. I showed him the fuck in the back. Fortunately, no one saw this. I came to his office. Going through the door, I put a fuin on the lock, which will close the door when I pour chakra into it. "So, when did you break your rib?" said the doctor, sitting down at the table. Yesterday, I answered, sitting down on the couch. Take off your clothes and spread your arms to the sides. I did as he said and my rib hurt sharply. I folded my arms and laid down on the couch. Your bone is broken, said the doctor, checking the ribs. Damn, I didn't even notice that my rib was broken. We'll have to have surgery, otherwise the bone will pierce your lungs. I refused the operation. I started getting dressed. I can't allow you to die, the doctor began to hold me back. My death will not change anything. No one will feel either warm or cold from my death, I told him, trying to free my hand. No, I am a doctor and I must protect the health of the inhabitants of this village. Let me go, I growled. The doctor removed his hand and I left. I trudged off for a walk. My rib hurt. Apparently my lung would soon be punctured. Fortunately, no one tried to beat me or kill me today. I had almost walked the entire main street when the company of the Hokage's son saw me. It was Menma, Kiba, Sasuke, and there were also 2 girls with them. It was Ino and Sakura. If they noticed Naruto, they couldn't pass by. They mocked him every time. Oh, who do we see? Menma said happily. Now we're going to have some fun. Sasuke supported him. Today, you won't get off easy with us, Kiba said, grinning. Oh, the mongrel has learned to talk, I responded to the taunt. Yes, I see you have become brave, demon. Menma was already preparing to hit me. I moved my hand to my pouch and took a kunai. Chapter 3 I prepared for the fight, but the pain in my rib prevented me. I knew that one sudden movement, and I would fall right there, and the fact that this death would be because of Menma humiliated me. I removed my hand, and then Kiba got down on all fours. Imitation of the beast, Kiba said. If you imitate the beast, will you also have fleas? I asked him. Oh you, Kiba bared his teeth. Yes, give him Kiba, Sakura and Ino said simultaneously. Kiba, don't you dare lose to this demon, Menma said with folded hands. I didn't mean to, Kiba said, turning to Menma. Kiba rushed out of his seat. He ran at me and when he was a few meters away from me, he jumped and wanted to hit me while in the air. I stepped aside and kneed him in the face. From such a blow, Kiba flew back. Okay, now it's my turn, Sasuke said, taking out a kunai. Sasuke, you're faster than Kiba, so you have a better chance of catching him by surprise, Menma said, placing his hand on Sasuke's shoulder. I know it myself, Sasuke grinned. Sasuke ran towards me. He ran from side to side. Sasuke threw kunai at me every time he ran to the other side, and so, having reached me, he swung his hand and left a cut on my chest. Damn, right where the fracture left a cut, I said to myself. Ha, you're not that dangerous, Sasuke said, throwing a kunai. Okay, now it's me again, Kiba said, getting to his feet. Wasn't it enough for you? I said with a smile. Ha, well, now I won't make a mistake like last time. Kiba stood up again and ran towards me. I began to fight off the blows, and during this time I completely forgot about Sasuke, who hit me in the leg, on the opposite side of the knee. I fell hard to my knee and was then hit in the jaw by Kiba. Hold him, Menma said, cracking his knuckles. Sasuke and Kiba took my hands and pulled me to my feet. Menma ran up and punched me in the area of the cut. Crunch, I felt cold. Menma hit me in the jaw and then in the gut. I curled up in pain. Are you really such a soft demon? I only hit you once, and you can already hear the crunch of your bones, Menma said, grinning. Okay, I think he's had enough, said Sasuke. Agree, Menma said as he left. They're all gone, and I was bleeding from the cut, and the cold became stronger and stronger. Crap, so I managed to run into them. Ah, it looks like the lung is still pierced, I said through the pain. Menma and his friends had already gone home. Arriving home, Menma immediately began to brag and boast to Kushina that he and his friends had once again beaten the demon. Kushina didn't like it and it hurt her to hear it, but she didn't show it. Then the sound of a door opening was heard. Minato walked into the kitchen. Hi all, Minato said, kissing Kushina and patting Menma's head. Mom, Dad, can you imagine, me, Kiba and Sasuke once again beat the demon, Menma said with his mouth full. Aren't you tired of this? Asked Minato. Nope, he is so weak that when Sasuke and Kiba held his hands and he was hit in the ribs, a crunching sound was heard. Kushina and Minato winced at such words. Even though they gave Naruto to an orphanage, they still loved their firstborn. Then there was a sharp knock on the door. Minato went to open it. When Minato opened the door, he saw the out-of-breath doctor. What's happened? Asked Minato. After the operation, I'll come straight to you. Hokage the Jinchuriki has a broken rib and a broken bone inside. When I found out, I told the boy that he needed to have an operation, but he refused, said the doctor, restoring his breathing. If you make a sudden movement, or hit the rib area, the bone will pierce the lungs, and if the lung is punctured, then he will live for a maximum of an hour, and then he will choke on his own blood, the doctor said worriedly. Minato was seriously scared. He didn't want to lose his son. Minato remembering Menma's words, he is so weak that when Sasuke and Kiba held his hands and he was hit in the ribs, a crunch was heard. Find him quickly. It was not enough for the Kyuubi to escape from his body. Wolf, fox, dog, weasel, from masked men appeared in front of Minato. Yes, Hokage-sama? The four said in unison. Quickly find Naruto Uzumaki for me. Hi, they said and disappeared. I was walking to my home. Well, as I walked, it's better to say that I trudged home. The cold was already covering the entire chest. Blood flowed from the wound in a stream. Damn, let's at least not now, not today and not tomorrow, otherwise, death from these idiots humiliates me or something, I said in a hoarse voice. The four ANBU ran throughout Konoha. Some looked from the roofs of houses, some from the ground. They ran through all the streets and alleys. Not finding Naruto, they ran to Minato. At this time, Minato and Kushina sat at the table in tension. As soon as the ANBU returned, Minato looked at them with a serious look, behind which were hidden tears and fear. Found it? Kushina asked worriedly. No, the ANBU shook their heads in response. Okay, free, Minato said waving his hand. Sensei, said the ANBU in the dog mask, I found a trace of blood and I think it belongs to him. Lead the way, Minato said, getting up from his chair. I'm going too, Kushina said with a trembling voice. No. No one should know or see about this. Moreover, if someone finds out about the situation and about our relationship with him, then shame will fall on us, Minato said at the door. Minato and ANBU left. They walked along the main street. Where does the trail begin? Minato broke the silence. At the end of the main street, ANBU said in response. Damn, my vision is already getting cloudy, I said in a hoarse voice. I pressed my hand harder on the wound and the blood stopped flowing. I could barely walk home. That's where the trail begins. How much time does he have, Minato-sensei? Said the ANBU, pointing with his hand. Crap, about an hour, Kakashi. Come back to my house and ask Menma how long ago he met the Jinchuriki, Minato said as he squatted down. Hi, the ANBU said and disappeared. Still fresh, Minato said in a whisper. Kakashi returned to Minato's house. Well? Kushina asked, flying out of her chair. The trail is clear and the drops of blood are very large. Please call Menma, said the ANBU. Fine, Kushina said, almost crying. Kushina led Menma into the kitchen. Do you need something from me? Menma asked in surprise, looking at the ANBU. How long ago did you and your company meet the demon? The ANBU said in response. Oh, do you think he's a demon too? Menma said happily. Answer the question. The ANBU said menacingly. About 50 minutes ago. And what? Menma asked with interest. It's clear. Kushina immediately noticed the disappointment on Kakashi's face. Even the mask couldn't hide it. Menma, go to your room, Kushina said, looking at Menma. Fine. What's happened? What didn't you like, Kakashi? Kushina asked. Menma hit the demon in the ribs, and he had a fracture, and that crunch was from breaking a bone and piercing the lungs. He has an hour to survive, and 50 minutes have already passed, and if we don't find him in 10 minutes, he will die. How? Kushina's tears welled up. And Kakashi returned to Minato. Well? Minato asked, hoping that only 20 minutes had passed. 50 minutes have passed since their skirmish, Kakashi said with disappointment. Damn, Kakashi followed the trail. Maybe we'll still have time to save him. I turned the corner and soon it was my home. The cold managed to cover my throat and it became almost impossible to breathe. My legs walked reluctantly and finally wanted to relax. I began to walk noticeably slower. The hand that was pressing the wound had long since stopped obeying me, and with the other I was leaning on the fence. Damn, there are more and more drops, Minato said, almost crying. Minato-sensei, I think we should speed up, otherwise we may not make it in time, Kakashi said, speeding up a little. No, we have to make it in time, Minato said, wiping away his tears. So 1, 2, 1, 2, little by little we walked towards the kitchen. I hope I still have time to bandage myself. Ahahaha, what am I going to bandage myself with? With your mouth? Although if I want to live, I can do it with my feet, I said, walking into the house. Blood started dripping again as soon as my hand fell from the wound. At this rate, I really can fall asleep, I said, taking out the first aid kit. Minato-sensei, we still have 3 minutes left, Kakashi said, out of breath. His footsteps are so bad that it feels like he's wearing weights. And yet, he walked quickly, since he was able to go so far. I think he went home, since the trail goes in this direction. Maybe you're right, Kakashi, Let's hurry up. Minato had little faith that he would find Naruto alive. Having bandaged my ribs, I began to climb to the second floor. So, now I'll lie down on the bed and whatever happens, I've already been able to do everything I could, I barely wheezed. Having gone up to the second floor, I went to my room and immediately lay down on the bed. As soon as I collapsed on the bed, I passed out. That's it, it looks like that's all, I thought. Minato and Kakashi ran as fast as they could. They noticed that the trail of blood was ending. He began to walk slower. I hope he was able to stop the bleeding, Minato said sadly. But as soon as they ran around the corner, they noticed that about 12 meters from them the trail resumed and it became much larger. This is no longer a trace, it's just a stream, Kakashi said. If only you were alive, Naruto. Minato wiped away his tears. They saw the house that the trail led to. The door was open and the light was on. Yes, what kind of wilds did you put him in? Kakashi said angrily. It was not I who determined the place of his residence, Minato said in response. The easiest way is to blame others, Kakashi said just as angrily. They ran into the house, and they stood rooted to the spot when they saw a pool of blood in the kitchen, an open first aid kit, a knife covered in blood and a bandage that was also bathed in blood. A minute, that's all Kakashi could say. Minato immediately rushed to look for Naruto. They checked all the rooms that were on the first floor. As soon as they checked the entire first floor, Minato ran to the second, and as soon as he opened the door to Naruto's room, he saw Chapter 4 When Minato ran into Naruto's room, he saw that there was blood all over the floor. The bed was simply soaked in blood and Naruto himself was not there. Waking up in a clearing, I went forward. Damn, what the where am I here from? Naruto said, walking and leaning on the trees. No wounds, strange. I checked all the places where there were possible wounds from yesterday. There's no cut on the chest, the clothes are clean, the rib doesn't hurt. What the hell is this? I walked a little further and heard the sounds of battle. I followed these sounds, and I saw a man of about 28 years old training. Hello, can I watch you train? I asked, sitting on the ground. Certainly, he answered briefly. I sat down on the grass and began to watch. Madara began throwing kunai and shuriken. He threw them expertly, and each of them pierced the center of the target, or dummy. After throwing melee weapons, Madara switched to taijutsu. He struck instantly, all blows reached their target. Madara pulled out his scythe and began slashing. Having shredded the mannequin, Madara went wild. He used all the techniques in a row. Madara landed to the right of the mannequin, and forgetting about his spectator, he used a fire dragon. Madara exhaled a powerful stream of fire, which took the form of a dragon, and when the dragon crushed the mannequin and flew on, at this time, Madara remembered the boy who was watching him train. Naruto sat and looked at the kunai that were in the targets and mannequins, then turned his gaze to the striped mannequin, and then he felt alarm and heard a scream. Turning his head, he saw a dragon behind which Madara was running. Boy, run! Madara shouted, praying to himself. Damn bad memory at 28 years old, the damn thing has arrived, Madara said under his breath. Naruto looked at this with a skeptical look. He leaned back and lay stupidly on the ground. Hashirama will suck all my brains out if he dies, and I definitely won't get away with just brains, the shinobi god said to himself. The dragon flew a few centimeters above Naruto. Naruto, meanwhile, lay dumbly and drew a kunai across the dragon's belly. As the dragon flew past Naruto and disappeared into the dust, then Madara was just praying. He was ready to give anything to avoid being brainwashed by Hashirama. When the dust settled, Naruto stood up as if nothing had happened. Madara looked at him in surprise and as if he had a short circuit along with the reinstallation of the poles. He was brought to his senses by a blow to the neck. Madara, motherfucker, is this what you always do? Naruto asked angrily. How? Madara asked in surprise at such impudence. Some boy just called him by name, and hit him on the neck and dared to scold him. How you do it first and then think, Naruto said more softly. Oh, Yushket, well I'll tell you now. Madara didn't have time to finish because Naruto put his finger in front of him and shook it. Now I'll call Hashirama-sama, and it will be for you. Naruto hit his fist in the thumb area with his palm. Okay, threat, let's go, I'll take you home, Madara said. He already wanted to get rid of this boy in any way. Eh? Don't do this, I don't have a home, I'm an orphan, so don't bother Madara-san, Naruto said, taking out a kunai from his pouch. Do you want to attack me? Madara asked, raising his eyebrows. Who the hell needs you? Naruto asked him in response. It's offensive, Madara said with his head down. Naruto took out all the kunai and shuriken from the target that Madara left behind, then he stood in front of the target and threw a kunai. The kunai hit the edge of the target, then the brunette threw a second kunai. The second kunai actually flew into the milk. You're doing it wrong, let me help, Madara said, approaching Naruto. So look, place your leg like this, move your hand, raise your hand, tense your fingers, and when you throw the kunai, jerk your hand sharply, understood? Madara asked, walking away from Naruto. Yes, I understand, why are you leaving me? Naruto narrowed his eyes. Naruto threw the kunai, and it pierced the center of the target. Great, now let's do it again with shurikens, Madara said as he approached. 2 hours passed and Madara and Naruto were still busy. They were already throwing shurikens and kunai. Madara gave the katana to Naruto, and they moved on to kenjutsu. Phew, that's enough, Madara-san. I'll throw my hooves away now if we continue, Naruto said out of breath. Okay, let's go home, Madara said, sheathing his katana. Where? Naruto asked. Home, Madara shouted into Naruto's ear. Yeah, I told you that I don't have a home, Naruto muttered, rubbing his ear. Now it is, you will live with me, get up, come on, Madara said, getting to his feet. Thank you, Naruto said as he followed Madara. Naruto and Madara came to the house. Settle down, bathroom and kitchen on the first floor, the rooms are on the second, you can choose any room on the left, Madara said, walking into the kitchen. Thank you, I'll go pick out a room, Naruto said and disappeared down the stairs. 5 minutes passed. You just drove me today, you are a beast, Madara-san, Naruto said as he got down from the ribbon. Have you chosen your room? And come on, that was just a warm-up, Madara muttered, tearing off the cold meat. The last room on the left side is as you said, and what the hell is another warm-up? I almost died. What are you eating? Naruto asked, sitting down at the table. Cold meat, do you want to try? Madara began poking a piece of meat at Naruto. Isn't it destiny to cook? Naruto hid behind a chair. Well, Madara hesitated. You don't know how, Naruto said in a critical voice. I can't, so what? Madara said, chewing meat. Get the meat, bread, tomatoes, cucumbers, I'll cook us something to eat, Naruto said as he approached the stove. There is only meat, Madara continued to sit. Why are you sitting then? Naruto asked him. Are you suggesting I go? Madara turned around with a piece of meat in his mouth. Madara flew out of the house. Damn, he let a child into the house, Madara said as he walked into the store. Naruto, meanwhile, was frying meat. Kind of weird, I couldn't be thrown back in time, but so, let's put everything together. They beat me up and I trudged home, bandaged the wound and then went to bed. Lying down on the bed, I passed out and woke up in a clearing in the forest, and I found myself in the times of Madara and Hashirama. This is a tricky one, Naruto said to himself. An hour later Madara returned with 2 bags. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have bought so much food, Madara began to appear. Madara-san, how old are you? Naruto asked. 28 what? Madara asked, laying the bags on the table. You are only 28 years old and you grumble like a 90-year-old stump, not ashamed? Naruto asked as he continued to fry the meat. Someday you will agree, Madara said, covering his face with his palms. Why does it smell so good? Madara began to lead his nose. Fried meat, I'm surprised you have spices, Naruto said reproachfully. Okay, sit down to eat, Naruto put 2 plates on the table. Naruto washed the vegetables and cut them. Madara praised Naruto and elevated him to godhood if only he would cook meat for him again. Okay, I will cook meat for you every day, just remove your braid, Naruto said, moving Madara's braid away with his finger. Okay, so be it, Madara said and laughed. Now let's go to bed, tomorrow we will continue your training, Madara smiled. I'll die, that's all I could say. Chapter 5 The morning sun gently woke up the residents of Konoha. Get up, you little asshole, it's time to start training, Madara said joyfully. Am I really in hell? Yes, if you are here then I am in hell, Naruto said, covering himself with a blanket. Madara began to pull the blanket off Naruto with a joyful face. Why are you happy, Satan? Naruto asked, raising an eyebrow. Today I will try this fried meat again, Madara glowed like the sun. I want to sleep, try it yourself, Naruto put a pillow on his head. Either you get up yourself or I will help you, Madara became more serious. What sins am I doing this for? Naruto said pitifully. Madara threw Naruto out of bed, and the brunette flew out of the window wearing only shorts and weights. What do you have? Madara asked, noticing the weights. Weights, Naruto answered briefly. Naruto jumped back through the window and began to attack Madara. His taijutsu is on par, Madara said to himself. Naruto untied the weights and instantly sped up. He has already become much better, more accurate and stronger in striking. What kind of bullshit is this? Why did he speed up so much? Madara was simply stunned by Naruto's speed. What's wrong with you, Madara-san? Naruto asked. Madara activated his Sharingan, and he began to counterattack. Naruto began to defend himself. They slowly moved towards the stairs. Naruto dodged and began to attack. Madara began to fight back and slowly descend to the first floor. Okay, that's enough for now, Madara said, putting away his Sharingan. Yes, Naruto went to make the bed and get dressed. Hey Naruto, how much do your weights weigh? Madara shouted from the first floor. Each 20 kilograms, Naruto said, yawning as he walked down the stairs. So each of them is 20, and there are 4 of them in total, so he only carries 80 kilograms? Madara was shocked. About an hour and a half passed. Naruto and Madara sat down to eat meat. Madara, like yesterday, praised Naruto. Okay, Naruto, have you awakened the hearth? Madara asked, finishing the meat. No, I'm only 5 years old. What a hearth, have you completely given up on meat? Naruto grinned. It's clear, okay, we'll do this now. Madara spent 15 minutes explaining about the chakra source and how to awaken it, and in what position to awaken it. An hour has passed. Madara-san, I felt it. Naruto opened his eyes. So fast? Wow, Madara was surprised. What should I do next? Now try to control your chakra, directed in one direction, Madara said, stretching and sitting under a tree. Okay then, Naruto closed his eyes again. Madara activated his Sharingan and began to observe Naruto's chakra. At first there were only small amounts of chakra control, but after another hour, Naruto was able to move his chakra. Great, you have 10 minutes to rest and we will teach you how to walk on trees, Madara said, closing his eyes. If I understand correctly, then you need to release chakra into your feet when you want to walk along a tree? Naruto asked, lying down on the grass. How did you guess? Madara asked, walking up to Naruto and looking into his face. Well, I can climb trees with the help of my hands, but if you say, walk, then there is already a topic about legs, Naruto continued to lie there. Well, since you understand everything, then let's start, Madara began to climb the tree. Naruto released chakra into his legs and began to try to follow Madara. Well done, keep going, Madara supported Naruto while sitting on a branch. At first it was difficult for Naruto to walk, but after walking a little more he was already boldly walking towards Madara. Well done, do you need a rest? Madara hung upside down. No, Madara-san, can you walk on water? Naruto hung down just like Madara. Yes, but do you want to learn? Naturally. Then let's go. Madara and Naruto hung from the branch and walked towards the lake. Look, in order to start walking on water, you need to put more chakra into your feet than when you walk on trees. Madara walked on the water. Naruto imbued his legs with chakra and walked towards Madara. When will you puncture? Madara asked sadly. Let's have a sparring match. Come on, Madara went to the shore. No, here on the water, this will allow me to improve my chakra control, Naruto stood up. Ha, well, try to defeat me, Madara responded with a stance. Naruto ran towards Madara and began to attack him. Madara, as in their previous sparrings, parried all the blows and counterattacked. After 5 minutes of struggle, Naruto was already at his limit. Still, maintaining control to walk on water and fully monitor the battle was too much. 10 minutes passed and Naruto had already managed to fall under the water with 1 foot. Can you continue? Yes, I can continue. Naruto was already sweating all over. Naruto ran towards Madara and when he wanted to attack him, he fell under the water. From surprise, he began to choke. Madara continued to stand. He didn't see what happened to Naruto, but sensing something was wrong, he followed him down. He saw that Naruto was already sinking to the bottom in an unconscious state. Naruto, I'll pump you out now, wait a little. Madara put Naruto on the ground and began to bring him to his senses. But I couldn't cope, Naruto said, closing his eyes. Crap. No, you did it. Not everyone can hold out for 15 minutes, maintain control to walk on water and give in to the fight. Okay, let's go home. You need to warm up. Madara picked Naruto up and carried him home. Madara brought Naruto home. I dried him off and put him to bed. Sorry, Madara-san, for causing inconvenience, Naruto said in a hoarse voice. Eh? Yes, you don't cause me any inconvenience. I'm surprised by you. It takes so long to fight on the water at your age. And on the first day, too. And by the way, let's skip this, San, addition and let's switch to you. Okay? Madara sat down on a chair. Okay, Madara, Naruto smiled. That's better, I'll go cook something. Madara went down. Madara. There's a cookbook in the left desk drawer. Cook according to it. Otherwise you will poison us," Naruto shouted from the second floor. "Okay," Madara answered. Half an hour later Naruto stood up and went downstairs. Madara was sitting in the kitchen, covered in flour, and on the table there was a bowl in which eggs were floundering. Naruto looked blankly at this picture. "Don't even start," Madara put his hands up. "What were you trying to cook?" Naruto sat down at the table. "Pancakes, but I'm not too confused," Madara said with his head down. "Let me help," Naruto said as he cleared everything on the table. Half an hour later, Naruto and Madara were enjoying pancakes. "Naruto, how can you cook so well?" "With," Madara stuffing his mouth. "Well, from the beginning I was in a shelter and they didn't treat me very well and didn't let me eat in peace, so at night I cooked for myself," Naruto said smiling. "How do you feel?" Madara asked. "How to say? Tell it like it is." "I think I'm sick," Naruto said smirking. "Seriously? Don't even dare to get sick. Who will cook my meat?" Madara began to shake Naruto. That is, you don't care about my suck condition, but only me meat?" Naruto spoke abruptly. "Your condition also worries and interests me," Madara said guiltily. "Okay, I'll go get some sleep, I'm tired today," Naruto yawned. "You did a great job today," Madara patted Naruto on the head. "Go get some rest." Commentary on Chapter 5. People, I registered on the author website there, and now I will write my works there. As soon as I finish these, if anyone is interested, my nickname is there, Vladimir. Chapter 6 Naruto woke up and went to the bathroom. Having completed all the water procedures, he went to the kitchen. "Good morning," Naruto said, yawning. "Good, how are you feeling?" Madara asked. "Wonderful, what will you train me in today?" "Well, probably in technology or something else." What techniques will we study?" "First you need to understand the nature of your chakra." Madara and Naruto went to the store. Having purchased leaves to determine the nature of the chakra, they returned to the house. "Now let's go to the training ground." "Fine, what exactly is the nature of chakra?" "Well, the nature of chakra is your predisposition to a certain element. There are only 5 of them: fire, air, earth, water, and lightning. It's clear." Arriving at the training ground, Madara gave Naruto a piece of paper. "Pass chakra into this leaf." "Understood." Naruto channeled chakra into the leaf. As a result, the leaf crumpled, got wet, and then dried out and burned. "Naruto, you have 3 elements: water, lightning, and fire. I will teach you Kato, that is, fire, but I can't do Raiton and Suiton. But I know a man who owns a Suiton, but with Raiton it will be more difficult." "Okay, let's start the training," Madara said, putting the leaves into his pouch. Naruto and Madara trained for 3 hours. Madara showed fireball techniques, phoenix flowers, song of fire dragons, fire destruction. Naruto began to repeat them and he succeeded. "Well done, now sharpen them." "I know, wait, where did you go?" Naruto asked, looking at Madara. "I'll go for a little walk. When I get there I'll check your results, understood?" Got it, scratch it already." Madara walked through Konoha and headed to the residence. "Oh, who do I see?" Hashirama shouted, seeing Madara. "Hello to you too, Hashirama." Madara sat down on a chair. "Do you need something?" Tobirama asked. "Fucking Tobirama, where are you from?" asked the frightened Madara. "I've been here from the very beginning." "Tobirama, I need your help." My student has 3 elements: Katon, Suiton, and Raiton. I would like it to be you who taught him Suiton." "I'll think about it." "Hey Madara, since when did you have a student?" Hashirama asked with an interested look. "About 3 days ago." Madara and Senju talked for a long time. Tobirama agreed to train Naruto after learning that he was not an Uchiha. "Madara, I hardly believe you that he is not an Uchiha. You yourself said that he has hair and eyes like your clan." "Yes, that's true, but I don't feel any kinship with us in him. Alright, I have to go. I still need to check how much he has perfected his techniques." Madara stood up and headed towards the exit. "Hey, wait," Hashirama stopped him. "How old is the boy?" "Yes, it's been like that for 5 to 6 years, Madara said, scratching his chin. "And what did you teach him?" Tobirama asked, grinning. "Well, he awakened the hearth, knows how to walk on trees and water, throws kunai and shuriken almost at my level, and today he learned 3 S-rank techniques," Madara said, remembering. "What? Can't be," Tobirama cried. "Well, let's go check it yourself," Madara said as he walked out. Tobirama, Madara and Hashirama walked towards Madara and Naruto's house. Then something began to sparkle behind the house and 3 lightning bolts appeared emanating from one point. "Damn it, Naruto!" Madara shouted and ran towards the lightning. Hashirama and Tobirama ran after him. Kurira! Naruto shouted. 3 lightning bolts began to unite into one and began to form a tree. Red cherry blossoms. Naruto shouted again, and another tree appeared behind the tree of lightning. It was a copy of a cherry blossom. Madara and Senju ran to the backyard and were surprised to see a boy who uses 2 elements at once. Naruto, how are you? Madara asked, running up to Naruto. Yes, it doesn't seem bad. Move away a little. I'll dispel the techniques. Naruto spread his arms to the sides and lowered his palms. The technicians immediately dispersed. Madara, are you sure he's not an Uchiha? Asked the still surprised Hashirama. Yes, I already doubted myself, Madara said, recovering from shock. Naruto sat down and the adults approached him. Naruto, you just awakened the hearth not long ago, according to Madara, right? Hashirama asked, sitting down next to Naruto. Well, yes, yesterday I woke him up. What's wrong with that? Naruto was surprised. People who have recently awakened the source of chakra can only control chakra in small quantities. Simply put, they cannot even use weak techniques, Tobirama said, sitting down to Naruto's left. Yes, Naruto, well, you surprised me. How did you even manage to use lightning? Madara sat down opposite Naruto. Well, I wanted to make something stronger than fire, and he decided to heat up the air around him with the help of chakra. Having started to heat it up, I felt calm, rage, a desire for destruction, and smooth coexistence with the environment, and when I opened my eyes, I saw lightning circling around me, and I tried to control them and I succeeded. By the way, Tobirama-sama, teach me Suidan? Naruto asked, turning to Tobirama. I'll think about it, Tobirama said with a serious face. Ultimately, Tobirama agreed because Naruto first began to ask him, and then began to attack. The entire backyard has become a training ground. Tobirama countered Naruto's techniques with his water techniques. Madara and Hashirama intervened in the battle and began to attack Naruto. Naruto, let's see how long you can hold out against us, Madara said, attacking Naruto in close combat. This will be a great combat experience for you, Hashirama encouraged Naruto. Madara attacked Hashirama in close combat in the middle and Tobirama in ranged combat. Naruto dodged and even managed to counterattack. After half an hour, Naruto began to lose ground, and when he was already at the limit, his Sharingan appeared. So you're from the Uchiha? Tobirama roared. Even if so, then so what? Do you have any complaints against this clan? If there is, tell me, Naruto answered rudely. Naruto began to quickly form the seals. Carva. Naruto breathed out a dragon breath. On the outside it was made of fire, and its core was made of lightning. The dragon took aim at Tobirama. I will not allow anyone to encroach on what is dear to me, whether it's a friend, a father, or your own brother, Naruto said and dispelled the dragon. After that he passed out. Chapter 7 While Naruto was passed out by Hashirama, Madara and Tobirama managed to talk about everything. Well, I'm telling you that when I was training, he came out of the forest and asked if he could watch my training, Madara said, waving his hands. But still, he has the Sharingan, which means he is one of you, Tobirama almost shouted. Tobirama is enough. Madara, like me, probably felt something familiar and warm in him, Hashirama said, calming his brother. Yes, I felt it, and if he is from the Uchiha clan, then how can 2 people from different clans consider a boy also from another clan to be a relative? What makes you think that he is not from your clan? Tobirama interrupted again. I believe he is from the Uzumaki clan. Think for yourself. Can a 5-year-old guy use S-rank techniques and even awaken the Sharingan? And he himself introduced himself to me when we met as Naruto Uzumaki? Eh? Tobirama? Madara looked askance at Tobirama. Okay, when Naruto wakes up, we'll ask him everything ourselves. 2 hours later Naruto woke up. He looked around and his eyes hurt badly. Putting his hands to his eyes, Naruto felt something warm. Removing his hands, he realized that it was blood. Blood poured from his eyes. Naruto stood up and felt pain. Oh my, yesterday we sparred and my whole body hurts and blood flows from my eyes, Naruto said to himself. Naruto walked towards the stairs, and when he was almost down he thought that no one was there. But Tobirama's scream said otherwise. Naruto followed the sound because his eyes were covered with his hands. Madara! Naruto shouted, walking towards the sound. Naruto! Have you already woken up? What's happened? Why are you covering your eyes with your hands? Madara asked in surprise. Madara, what do you do when blood is flowing from your eyes? Naruto asked, removing his hands. Fuck, Tobirama said. Hashirama, stop the bleeding from his eyes, Madara said, running up to Naruto. Naruto, when did your eyes start hurting? Asked Hashirama, who began the eye treatment. Bright, Naruto shuddered. Well, when I woke up, my eyes hurt first and then the blood started pouring out. By the way, my eyes still hurt, Naruto said, squinting his eyes. Keep your eyes open, Hashirama said and gave Naruto a smack. For an hour, Hashirama treated Naruto's eyes, but to no avail. Naruto passed out from blood loss. Well, where am I? Naruto asked himself. So, what we have is ankle-deep water, pipes and some kind of cage. Naruto walked forward, standing close to the cage. And why this cage? Naruto scratched the back of his head, and he kicked it properly. Knock yourself on the head, brat, said the creature behind the cage. Hey, can you stop my bleeding? Yes, I can, but why? The creature asked. Well, if I die, there is a chance that you will die too, Naruto said, yawning. Convinced, now get away from here and don't tell anyone about our meeting. Okay, fox. The creature opened its eyes wide. Where? Naruto came to his senses and, as the fox said, he stopped the bleeding. Hashirama and Madara were dozing near Naruto. Hey, wake up, where am I anyway? Naruto said, tugging Madara and Hashirama's sleeves. How are you, Naruto? Don't get up, the blood is still flowing, asked Hashirama. So far so good, the bleeding has stopped, but my eyes still hurt, Naruto said. I'm glad everything is fine with you, Madara patted Naruto on the head. Listen, where am I and where is Tobirama-sama? Naruto asked, shaking his head to the sides. He went for blood, you've lost a lot of blood, Madara said. Soon Tobirama arrived. Oh, Naruto, you're awake, Tobirama said. Did you bring blood? Madara asked him. Yes, but only 1 liter, Naruto's blood is painfully rare. What is my blood type? Naruto asked, puzzled. 4th, Tobirama answered briefly. Here, let's start the transfusion. After finishing the transfusion, Naruto was told that he had to stay for at least 3 more days, because he may have dizziness, minor amnesia and memory loss. But you can't tell from Naruto, looking at him, you could tell that he didn't care about this at all. Naruto simply put on his shirt and walked off into the sunset. Why doesn't he listen to his doctor? Shouted the doctor who was looking after Naruto. Believe me, he feels great, Hashirama began to calm him down. He is from the Uzumaki clan, Madara answered briefly and went to the exit. From that same dead clan of scarlet-haired demons? The doctor asked in fear. Yes, Hashirama answered and also went to the exit. Madara went to the training ground but did not find Naruto there. Then he went to the backyard of their house but Naruto was not there either. He ran all over Konoha until evening, and when Madara had already lost hope of finding Naruto, he went home. Entering the house, the first thing he saw was Naruto sitting on the stairs opposite the door, eating rice. Well, where do you go? Naruto asked, worried. I mean, where? I was looking for you, asshole. Madara said, sitting down next to Naruto. Madara, well, you know yourself that I can only be in 3 places, landfill, backyard and house, I won't go anywhere else. By the way, do you know why I was bleeding? Naruto gave the chopsticks to Madara. Most likely it's due to the power of the Sharingan or your age. You woke him up too early. And by the way, Naruto, are you really part of the Uzumaki clan? Madara asked, narrowing his eyes. Yes, they told me that my name is Naruto Uzumaki. And what is wrong? You look a lot like a person from my clan. Your hair and eyes are the same color as ours, and the Sharingan speaks of kinship with our clan. Well, I do not know. The only thing I know is that I am an Uzumaki. Okay, enough talk. Starting tomorrow Tobirama will start training you in Suiton. So, you train me for Katona, Tobirama-sama for Suiton, but no one trains me for Raiton, or you will have to study yourself. No, I will try to negotiate this with the 3rd Reikiji. Thank you, Madara, Naruto said and went to his room. No way, in such a short time you became my son, Madara said quietly. Naruto heard it. And you are my father. In the next morning, Naruto was already waking up Tobirama. Come on, get up, it's time to start training, Tobirama said, pulling the blanket off Naruto. If I take the blanket off him, he will get up, Tobirama thought to himself. But it was not there. Naruto took out a blanket, covered himself and continued to sleep. Suiton, flow of water. Naruto flew out of the window, all wet. Well, since you got out of bed, let's start training. Fine, Naruto yawned. And so, now I will show you the water section. This technique is released from your mouth and takes the form of a thin stream, and when it hits something it simply cuts it, Tobirama explained. It's clear, Naruto answered. Tobirama formed the seals and used water slash. Since Naruto carefully watched Tobirama's hands, he was able to see and remember the seals. Standing next to Tobirama and making the seals, Naruto repeated the technique. You were able to do it easily. Let's now try to make a water ball, Tobirama said with a smile. After completing the seals, Tobirama exhaled a ball of water. Naruto repeated after him and exhaled a ball of no smaller size. Well, Naruto, let me teach you. Chapter 8 Naruto, come on. No, it's better for you to forget, Tobirama said. Even though he can be called a genius, no, he's definitely a genius. But this technique is too dangerous. But if he still learns it, but he's still an Uchiha. Such Tobirama had thoughts. No, speak now, speak to the end. What is this thing that you don't want to tell, Tobirama-sensei? The brunette spoke. Naruto wondered what kind of technique his teacher didn't want to talk about. I don't know why, but I'm pleased that Naruto called me Sasime and my brother was right. Now I also feel a little kinship, but still to hell with it. It's clear that Naruto is not like the Uchihas, although there is a kinship with them. Tobirama thought to himself. Okay, tell Naruto how big is your chakra reserve. Senju pulled the strap. I don't know for sure, but Dad said it was big, Naruto answered, putting his hands behind his head. Dad? Tobirama was surprised. Yes, the brunette answered briefly. You see, the fact is that this water technique requires a large supply of chakra and control. Tobirama began to explain, a large reserve and excellent control of chakra. It is already clear that it is damn difficult, Naruto began to reason. After all, the larger the chakra, the weaker the control. I see you understand that this technique is very complex. It also requires an understanding of the sea. Tobirama liked teaching Naruto more and more because not many people remember even the most basic rules. This technique is called the will of the sea god. Tobirama said seriously. The will of the sea god? Uzumaki was perplexed. Yes, this technique. Tobirama fell silent for a second. It's better I'll just show you. Tobirama entered the training ground and asked Naruto to move away. As soon as the brunette walked away, Tobirama began to make seals at the speed of a bullet. Naruto started counting the seals. 3, 9, 16, 27, 39, 50, Naruto said to himself. As soon as Tobirama made all the seals, he closed his eyes, stood in a stance, and remained in place. So said Naruto. A huge amount of water began to accumulate around Tobirama. Upon completion of the collection, Tobirama stood inside the Buddha made of water. This is the will of the sea god, Tobirama said, still holding the seal of concentration. I created this technique based on the Susanoo of Madara and his brother when we were enemies. This technique is great for defense and offense. But in return I can't move, Tobirama said, and Naruto continued to look at the great water Buddha in the lotus position. Yes, this technique is still a pain in the ass, Madara's voice was heard. Dad? Madara? Tobirama and Naruto asked at the same time. Tobirama, how is Suiton training going? Madara said without paying attention. What can I say, Naruto is definitely a genius, Tobirama said with a sincere smile. Naruto was glad to hear such words. Naruto could count on the fingers of one hand those who more or less treated him well, and these people were the librarian, Tuchi, Madara, Tobirama, Hashirama. I see you're making progress since Tobirama praises you. Madara patted Naruto on the head. But still, you are a master of katan, Madara began, already laughing, dodging Buddha's fist. Oh, it didn't work out, Tobirama said sadly. Okay, Naruto, try to repeat the technique, Tobirama said, waving the Buddha. Okay, I'll try, said the brunette. So, let's go, Naruto said. Wait, let me repeat the seals just in case, Tobirama said, folding the seals. Okay, now try it. Tobirama and Madara moved away, but as soon as a dome formed around Naruto, he immediately began to sink into it, and the dome disintegrated. This technique seems to be too difficult for me yet, the brunette said, sitting down on the grass. You were missing something, Tobirama explained. So what? Naruto pointed his ears. Understanding water, Tobirama said. Understanding water? Naruto looked askance at Tobirama. Okay, I think that's enough for today. Naruto, you're leaving for Kumo tomorrow, Madara said, approaching Naruto. Have you agreed with the Reikage about my training in Raitan? Asked Naruto. Yes, he agreed, and you have exactly 2.5 years to study. During this time, you should ideally be proficient in Raitan. Madara helped Naruto up. Yes. If you do this, I will teach you another fire technique as a reward, Madara said, smiling. It's coming, Naruto smiled in response. You really are like father and son, Tobirama said reproachfully. Dad, let's leave him, while he doesn't come up with something else here, Naruto said, backing away. Agree, Madara said, and they both disappeared from sight. So, what should I cook today? Naruto said, standing in front of the open refrigerator. Today I'm cooking, Madara said, putting on his apron. Okay, what are you going to cook? Naruto asked. Soup, Madara answered briefly. An hour later Madara prepared the soup. Naruto naturally helped him, but only in preparing the ingredients for cooking, and that's it. The soup isn't tasty. What did I do wrong again? Madara said, dissatisfied. Naruto silently stood up from the table and took out the seasonings. After sprinkling the soup with seasonings and stirring it, he gave the spoon to Madara. Thank you, it tastes much better this way, Madara said with a smile. You're welcome, Naruto smiled in response. What is water? She destroys and destroys lives, but at the same time she protects and saves them. Water is peace, Naruto thought to himself. Rise! Madara yelled in Naruto's ear. Naruto jumped and flipped the table over and landed on the wall and looked at Madara with his Sharingan. Madara, why are you yelling? Naruto asked. Sorry, were you very scared? Madara began scratching the back of his head. Naruto's eyes turned red and blood started pouring out of them. Ah, damn it! Again, Naruto said, falling from the wall to the floor. Naruto! Madara ran to Naruto. Naruto convulsed for 10 minutes. Hashirama, what's wrong with him? Madara asked, scared. Shock. The pain was sharp and strong, and this reaction manifested itself. What do we do? As far as I understand, touching him now is dangerous, Tobirama said, sitting down next to Naruto. Yes it is, I can't move it, and I'm powerless here, Hashirama said sadly. Crap! Madara shouted and hit the wall, and then Naruto's body stopped convulsing. Where am I now? Naruto asked himself. Before him was a raging sea, but then the sea calmed down, and 2 lights appeared from its depths. They were approaching, and then a dragon appeared from the water surface. This was not a water dragon. This dragon was much larger. The dragon flew towards Naruto, but Naruto did not run away and charged this dragon with fire techniques. But noticing that the techniques did not harm him, Naruto was honestly not surprised, and the dragon was getting closer, and when he almost approached Naruto, the brunette jumped to the side and kicked the dragon in the jaw. It spilled out like a wave. Get out! I know this is not the end, Naruto said, looking around. Ha ha ha, you are the first who was able to fight with me without a shadow of fear, but you told me no match. The dragon climbed out of the water behind Naruto. The dragon rushed towards Naruto again. Let him eat you, Kyuubi's voice was heard in Naruto's head. Naruto turned to face the dragon and closed his eyes, spreading his arms to the sides. The dragon was very surprised, and the dragon devoured Naruto. And why did you decide to have a fight with this dragon? The creature asked reproachfully. Why not? I don't know what it was, so I decided to give him a fight, Naruto said, sitting down and leaning against the cage. It was water and the dragon was its embodiment, the creature yawned. The next morning, Tobirama came to wake Naruto up. Not finding him at home, he went to the backyard, but Naruto was not there either. Where is he? Tobirama said with a hint of irritation. Are you looking for Naruto? Madara asked as he approached. Yeah. He's at the training ground. Hurry up, he's about to leave for Kumo. Fine. Tobirama ran to the training ground. At the training ground, he saw Naruto and the dragon circling around him. Naruto's eyes glowed blue, symbolizing water. So you know water, Naruto, Tobirama said with a smile. Naruto removed the seal and the dragon disappeared. Sensei, how are you? Good enough? The brunette asked with great interest. Even more, very good, well done, Naruto. Tobirama patted Naruto on the head. Naruto, it's time! Madara shouted. Goodbye, Tobirama-sensei, Naruto said, walking towards Madara. Let's go, I'll see you off and on the way out we'll say goodbye. Tobirama went with Naruto. Chapter 9 At the gates of Konoha stood 4 people, 3 adults, and 1 child of 6 or 7 years old with a large backpack for him. He was dressed in shinobi sandals, black trousers that did not restrict movement, a t-shirt with the image of fire, and a black jacket with orange inserts. There was a wakizashi behind him. Okay, Naruto, you will go alone, but don't worry, in Kumo you will be met by lightning shinobi, Madara said. Madara, why the hell is Naruto going alone? Uchiha Tobirama asked angrily. That's his condition, he said that he was not going to let even one monster into his territory. Madara spread his hands. Then there was a war and we were all merciless to our enemies, Hashirama said. Don't worry about me, I have the Sharingan, 3 elements, ideal defense and excellent physical strength, preparation. Naruto, The ideal defense is Susanoo, Madara spoke with pride. Tobirama, why am I only now finding out that you taught Naruto the will of the sea god? Hashirama asked his brother reproachfully. Because he only learned it today, Tobirama replied. Madara, do you mind if after Naruto returns I give him missions? I am for it, Madara said. Naruto, it's time for you to go. Yes, only this survive. Naruto disappeared from sight. What is he talking about? Why can we die? Hashirama was in thought. Hey brother, do you think in Naruto's words? Yes, Hashirama said, rocking on his chair. Hashirama, I remembered something, Tobirama said with a sad face. Yes, so what? You promised Mito to introduce her to Naruto, Tobirama said. Exactly, Hashirama has turned gray. 3 men stood on a deserted street, and besides these 3 there was only 1 woman. Oh dear, I just wanted to meet Naruto-kun. Wait, where is he? Mito asked, turning her head in different directions looking for Naruto. I'm sorry, dear, but he went to Kumo for training and will return only after 2 years, said the first Hokage. The aura of murder began to seep in. Madara and Tobirama began to slowly move away. That is, you didn't wait for me to come? Naruto walked to Kumo looking at the map. Naruto only stopped for the night and to eat. I don't know a damn about cards, Naruto said with annoyance. Naruto appeared in his subconscious. Hey! Naruto shouted and hit the cage. Help, show me where this damn Kumo is. Why should I suddenly help you? Bug? The creature asked lazily. I'll get lost and die of hunger and take you with me. Well, tell me where Kumo is. Naruto hit the cage again. Okay, just don't touch me, go forward and only forward. Soon the rocks will appear before your eyes, and deep in the rocks you will find the village of Kumo. That's it, now get out. The creature threw Naruto out of his subconscious. What a sly guy, he threw me out again. Naruto walked further, and soon rocks appeared in front of him. Ha, I didn't deceive you. Naruto moved on, he jumped from one rock to another, and then a ball of blue flame rushes towards him. Naruto didn't notice this and stupidly walked on. Techniques. Kunai and Shuriken flew at Naruto a couple more times, but Naruto didn't notice. Naruto quickly reached Kumo, he landed near the main gate. Stop! Who are you? Said the guards, blocking the path to the village. I came from List, and I will learn right on from the 3rd Raikage, Naruto said, taking out a scroll. Okay, come in, said one of the guards. They opened the way for him, and then a breathless guy lands behind Naruto. Brown hair, slightly tanned skin, and a mark in the form of the kanji, cat. The guy looked to be about 10 years old. Who are you and what are you doing here? The guy asked after catching his breath. Before you find out the name, you need to identify yourself and I don't have to report to you, Naruto said as he left. Oh you, the guy stood in front of Naruto and grew claws. Naruto did nothing in response. The guy quickly ran towards Naruto. The guards were about to separate them, but Naruto quickly slammed the guy into the ground face down. The guards were shocked by Naruto's speed and strength. Hey, who is this anyway? Naruto asked, pointing at the guy. This is Nekoru. What did he need? Naruto walked deeper into the village. So this is what Madara's son is like. I didn't expect this from you, slamming a Jinchuriki into the ground, said the man who appeared. I take it you are the Raikage? Naruto asked. Yes, my name is Hei, the man answered, folding his arms over his chest. Let me fight you, Naruto said with a smile. Fine, Hei said, smiling back and getting into a stance. Naruto took a stance and quickly began to approach Yae. Naruto quickly began to attack his opponent. Hei was surprised by the boy's speed and strength. The Raikage quickly parried Naruto's blows and went on the offensive. Covering himself with a blanket of lightning, he began to attack. Naruto fought back the blows but still missed 2 hits. And you are very strong, Raikage-sama. Naruto smiled and wiped the blood from his mouth. I'm amazed by you, Naruto. You are able to talk during combat, and you've been opposing me for 10 whole minutes, responded to Naruto's words Hei. I fought Madara, Hashirama-sensei and Tobirama-sensei at the same time, but you are much faster. Ha! Naruto didn't want to show his Sharingan. So he pulled back and threw unnecessary thoughts out of his head. Well, it's time to fight seriously. Fire cherry blossoms, Naruto said, closing the seals. A tree with a burning trunk began to appear behind Naruto. The branches of the tree began to be covered with flowers like sakura. The leaves that fell were burned. Amazing, you have a very high level of proficiency in Katan. Well, I'll become more serious too, the Raikage accelerated. The Raikage flew towards Naruto with greater speed, but Naruto, when the Raikage's blow was about to reach him, struck the Raikage in the neck. Phew, I made it, Naruto whined. Well done, said the Raikage. Naruto dispelled the sakura and the Raikage's cover. Find a place to live and we'll start training tomorrow. Commentary on Chapter 9. Will you collect the maximum number of Lucas and waiters before Monday? Chapter 10 The ruler of the Reikage walked through the village hidden in the cloud, Kumo, followed by two boys, the first brown-haired, the other brunette. All the residents looked at the brunette with interest since they saw him for the first time, and at the brown-haired one with fear. I've already forgotten what it's like to be a scapegoat, but now it's not me, but Nekoru. We should ask Fox what the hell is going on around both of us, Naruto said to himself under his breath. I will now take you to the house where you will live for these 2 years, little one, the Reikage said sternly. Yes and more, Nekoru. Yes, Reikage-sama? Said the chestnut cat in one breath. You will train with Madara's son, the Reikage said so that it was clear that his decision was not subject to discussion. Hi, answered Nekoru. Should you ask me? Naruto thought, but he understood that it was better not to object and calmly began to examine the village. Naruto looked at the village with admiration, because Kumo was the village that was able to tame nature. The village itself was on the rocks, and some of the houses were carved into the rock, and this could not help but surprise. And the most interesting thing, there was electricity everywhere, and they used it without sparing. In Konoha, of course, there was electricity too, but only in the houses and the Hokage residence. From books, Naruto knew that other villages also had it, but it was used only where needed, and failures were not uncommon, but Kumo was an exception. Here it was everywhere. The country of lightning was immediately visible. 10 minutes later, the Reikage, Naruto and Nekoru approached a building with an earthen roof that looked like a hotel. This is where you will live during training, Hei said. You can take any room on the 5th floor. Nekoru lives on the 4th. You gave me the whole floor? Naruto said in surprise. Yes, it was in agreement with Madara. He insisted that you live in good conditions and check everything, and I myself would not allow someone whom I agreed to teach to live anywhere, answered the Reikage, remembering his conversation with Madara, which made his neck hurt. Training will begin tomorrow morning. I will come for you myself. In your free time you can do whatever you want, but you will need to tell me or one of my people, Hei said. Hei knew that if something happened to Naruto, the elder would erase this village, and he probably won't come alone. Naruto went to the 5th floor and looked through all the rooms. They were all the same. They had a bed, a table, a wardrobe, an armchair and a bedside table. The room was larger than the apartment that he was given when he left the shelter, so he took room number 400, because it was closest to the stairs and had a beautiful view. Entering the room, the brunette laid out his things and put the wakizashi on the table. He was careful with it because it was Madara's gift. Flashback. The day before Naruto was sent to Kumo. Listen, Naruto, when is your birthday? Asked Madara. Not soon, Naruto answered dryly. He never loved him because he was always alone. Hey, tell me the exact date, Madara said, noticing that his son was unpleasant about this topic. October 10th. Still Naruto's answer. Why don't you like this topic? Asked Madara. Dad, why is it so noticeable? Asked Uzumaki. Yes, very much. It's written right on the face, Madara answered. All because as far as I can remember I was always alone. I never even saw my parents, Naruto said with pain in his voice. And in the orphanage I was hated and beaten. I was very lonely, and on my birthday most often I was in the hands of Shinigami, Naruto said in a completely defeated voice. Madara simply hugged Naruto and pressed him very tightly. Everything is fine, what happened and passed. Now you are my son and I will never leave you, and not only me, Hashirama and Tobirama. Madara spoke affectionately as best he could, trying to calm his son down. He decided never to ask about his son's past again. What kind of creatures did this? Madara growled in his thoughts. Hate an innocent child. No matter how genius he is a child. But now he is my son. Anyone who harms Naruto will be sent to hell. Please forgive me for bringing up this topic, Madara said. Yes, okay Dad, don't leave me, Naruto said, trying to calm down. Okay, I promise I'll even ask you to put a few in on me, yes. And this is a gift from me, although it's late. Happy birthday Naruto, Madara said with a smile as he gave Naruto the wakizashi. Naruto started to cry. End of flashback. Naruto treasured this sword, and I decided to clean it. An hour later, cleaning the sword from the remnants of the dried blood of the bandits that Naruto met along the way, Naruto went to bed because he was very tired, and decided to go down into his subconscious. Hello, Fox. The brunette shouted. What do you want? Kyubi asked, raising his muzzle. Yes, I wanted to say thank you for helping me get there, thank you. And what does this give me? Thank you. I helped only because my peace depended on it, said the fox, although it was more like a barely audible roar. Thank you anyway, And I just now realized that you are beautiful. I wish I were a fox, Naruto said. Kyuubi couldn't believe his ears. They called him a monster, a beast, a weapon, a demon, but none of the people called him handsome. Okay, if I'm not in the mood I'll go, said the brunette. Wait, I feel like you came to talk. Well, I don't mind, it's boring to sit in this sewer anyway, Kyuubi said. Oh, sorry, everything will be fine now, Naruto said, and the space around began to change. Naruto sat in the lotus position and meditated. From him came grass that filled the entire subconscious. A forest began to grow and mountains were formed. Kyuubi looked at this in surprise. A beautiful white sakura grew next to the cage, and a lake appeared, where a water dragon appeared. Now it was not a sewer, but a beautiful clearing with an abundance of flowers. In the distance there were mountains. Kyuubi himself was in a cage, but even she was transformed and everything around him also changed. Between Naruto and Kyuubi there was a mountain, and in this mountain there was a grate with a seal. How did you do this? The fox said with obvious surprise. It's just that one day in the library I came across a book about psychology and the inner world, and it said that the inner world depends on the owner. The brunette answered the question. Okay, I need to get some sleep, otherwise I'll have training tomorrow, and you get settled in. Maybe I hastened to conclusions. Could he be the man his father was talking about? He addressed me not as a monster. Moreover, he was recognized by the embodiment of water and not, but who, but a dragon. These were the thoughts of the fox. Hey, why did you recognize Naruto? Kyuubi decided to ask. This boy was not afraid of me, and his understanding of water is the same as mine. I destroy what I don't like and protect what I like. Who the hell has a strong will since he didn't break? Answered the dragon, and recognizing someone does not mean giving all your power, said the dragon, scratching the base of his horn. I think you're right, but knowing people like you expect a lot from him, said the fox with suspicion. I'm not the only one, said the dragon and disappeared into the lake. Chapter 11 The sun was shining on Kumo. Its rays reached the window where a boy with brown hair was sleeping. It's already morning, Nekuru said, opening his eyes. That means the raikage will come soon, and training with this Naruto will begin. Yesterday I received it, but today I will finish it, the guy said as he put on his equipment and left his room, and smelled something tasty. It smells delicious. I wonder who's cooking. Stop, there's no one in this building except me and that guy, the cat remembered and ran to the kitchen. And in the kitchen, a brunette stood at the stove and prepared breakfast. Suddenly a chestnut cat flew into the kitchen. So this is what you cook? The guy caught his breath. Hello, will you have breakfast? The brunette said without paying attention to the cat. Have you prepared it for me too? Nekuru said joyfully. Wait, what's the catch? Yes, so, I got up early and decided to prepare breakfast, since the raikage didn't say what time the training was, and I sense that we'll be busy there until the evening, the brunette said, putting rice and cutlets into plates. Address him as raikage herself. Nekuru doesn't like it when someone addresses EY without respect, because he is the one who saved him, despised by everyone. When we walked through the village, I noticed how the residents were looking at you, Naruto said. And what? Do you feel sorry for me? Asked Nekuru. Let's just say, I understand you, the brunette answered with indifference. Okay, consider that I believed you, answered the cat, starting to gobble up rice and cutlets with a face like a cat's that was full of sour cream. 10 minutes later the raikage arrived. Naruto dumped the dishwashing on Nekuru, citing the fact that he had prepared all that deliciousness. 10 minutes later they were already at the training ground. The training ground was the top of a rock, and the training ground was quite large. First, you need to learn how to release lightning chakra and imbue it into your weapon, the raikage spoke sternly. It's simple, it's like releasing regular chakra. But now you will need to add the element of lightning to it. The raikage showed an example with his fist. Naruto began to work, and on the first try he was able to release the lightning chakra and infuse it into the weapon. That's a bit weak, he criticized, and Nekuru's jaw just dropped. Nekuru knew that Naruto was a genius since the raikage agreed to train him, but few people managed to do it on the first try. It was easy for Naruto since he did something similar with fire and water, and in the technique of the will of the sea god, this is the basis. But all the kunai and shuriken that Naruto had imbued with lightning curled when he threw them, and he thanked his head that he didn't use it on his sword. Uzumaki spent almost an hour trying to correct his mistakes, and they were that Naruto poured too much chakra from his huge reserves. He was like a broken faucet that was used constantly, but when it came to more delicate work, he ruined everything. In total, 20 kunai and 30 shurikens fell into disrepair. When Naruto finally succeeded, he threw a kunai and it went almost through the rock. Only a couple of centimeters remained, and he was already saturating his wakizashi with lightning chakra. Not bad, tomorrow you'll start learning techniques and will develop your body even more, Iwai said, jumping off the cliff he was sitting on, and then Nekoru approached him. Now let's check how well you did the job the Raikage was not allowed to finish. Raikage, let me fight him yourself, Nekoru answered in a trembling voice. Fine, Hei gave a short answer. Naruto and Nekoru stood opposite each other. Naruto imbued his sword with lightning chakra, and Nekoru made seals and his fingernails began to lengthen until they were about 15 centimeters. These two boys ran at each other. Naruto made a single horizontal slash, but Nekoru jumped 3 meters high. He's actually a cat, Uzumaki thought. The brown-haired cat began to strike at Naruto with its claws, but the brunette repelled everything with his wakizashi. But the cat did inflict a couple of scratches. Nekoru jumped back and used Kadon's technique, a blue fireball. Naruto jumped back, but was still caught. Naruto got tired of playing and rolled up the sleeves of his t-shirt. Weights appeared on my hands. Naruto quickly approached Nekoru and kicked him in the chest. Having climbed out of the rock, Nekoru began to become covered with Biju chakra. A wild dance began. Naruto began to cover his sword with all 3 elements, and Nekoru continued to use blue fire. The Raikage only watched from the sidelines. He did not expect such a fight from children. If Nikuro understands as a Jinchuriki, then Naruto showed that in the future he will become a monster who will give light to many Biju. A little time passed 2 hours, dust gathered around both opponents and formed a dense cloud, and then the clanging of swords died down. The cloud settled and Naruto appeared standing over Nekoru's body. The Sharingan burned in Naruto's eyes. Nekoru, you are strong, but you are still very far from me, Naruto said as he left. Raikage-san, am I free? Yes, Hei said hesitantly. Then I'll go and look around the village, Naruto said and disappeared. He will be worse than Madara. At that age he has a Sharingan. It is dangerous to have him among your enemies, Hei said to himself. Commentary on Chapter 11. Anticipating the question why Neru did not use the will of the sea god, I answer. The will of the sea god requires time, first to put all 50 seals and then for the water to collect. Who knows, Naruto is on the rocks where there is no water. You can, of course, transform chakra into water, and Naruto can do this. But this requires even more time and concentration. And in a battle with such a fast-moving enemy it is not easy. What kind of creature was watching Naruto? You'll find out soon, co-author. Chapter 12 Where is Naruto? Kakashi asked, coming to Minato. He's not there, Minato said sadly. Do you mean no? Kakashi, he's just not there. There is blood but no body, the fourth answered this. Summoning technique, Kakashi said and called Pakin. What happened, Kakashi? Asked Pakin, who appeared. We need to find the boy. Can you find his trace? Kakashi asked, giving Pakin Naruto's shirt. He's not there, I can't smell him, Pakin said, sniffing Mike. Falcon, Lasca, said Minato. 2 masked people instantly appeared in front of the fourth. What do you order, fourth Sama? They said and fell on one knee. Find me the Kyuubi Jinchuriki and report back on your search tomorrow, Minato said sternly. Hi, they said and disappeared. After all the formalities and typos at home, Minato and Kakashi went home. Minato's health was at an all-time low and from the outside one could have thought that a corpse was walking. Maybe I should go get a drink? Although, I will never forget this, Minato thought to himself. Arriving home, he was met by Kushina. How is he? She asked anxiously. No way, he was not at home, Minato said, taking off his clothes and sitting down on a chair. How is it that they took him to the hospital? Kushina asked in bewilderment. No, he is not in the village. A trail of blood leads to his house and to his room. But he himself was not in the house. Kakashi called Pakin and he said that Naruto was nowhere, Minato said, throwing his head back. Show me, Kushina said, getting ready. What to show? Minato asked worriedly. Next, Kushina said. Kushina, no, that's not something to look at, he began to dissuade her. Show me, I said, she threatened with her fist. It's night now and we're unlikely to find him. Let's at least do it in the morning? Minato asked her. Okay, she answered briefly and went to bed, but this was not destined to come true. She couldn't sleep all night, much like Minato. The next morning, Kushina woke up Minato at the crack of dawn. Get up, she said, pushing Minato. Honey, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Why get up so early? He asked sleepily. Now you will show me the trail and the house of our son, she said while getting dressed. Minato and Kushina got dressed and left quietly so as not to wake Menma. "Honey, this is not something to look at," said Minato. "Show me," she threatened. 10 minutes later they arrived at the place. Kushina's eyes filled with tears. She followed this trail of blood and began to cry. Minato became even more depressed, and so, having reached the coveted turn, Minato stopped her. "I won't let you go any further," he said, holding her hand. "Let me go," she said, crying. "I have to see everything." No, Minato refused. She pulled her hand away and walked away, but when she turned the corner she quickly returned. "Let's get out of here," said Minato. She buried herself in his chest and began to cry. They went home. An hour later the ANBU came looking for Naruto. "Hokage-sama, we have come to report the results of the search," they said, sitting down on their knees. "Spit it out," he said briefly. "During the search, we did not find any traces of the Jinchuriki. We walked around the entire village and its borders, but no signs of his presence were found," both ANBU reported. "Okay, free," Minato said, leaning his head on his hand. "Hi!" And the ANBU disappeared. At 8 o'clock in the morning, Minato was already in his office. 7 hours later Menma woke up. He got dressed and left his room. "Mom, I went for a walk," shouted Menma, who flew out of the house like a bullet. He went after Sasuke first. "Hello, Fugaku-sama, is Sasuke at home?" "Hi Menma, yes Sasuke." Then Sasuke came running. "Hello Sasuke, let's go for a walk." Went. Sasuke put on his shoes and they ran after Kiba. Arriving at Kiba's house, they knocked. "Who you are?" some asked from the doorway. "We are Kiba's friends," Menma answered her. "Will he go out for a walk?" they asked timidly. "Yes, I'll call him now." She left. "Hello," Kiba said, approaching the door. Hello, let's put on our shoes and go for a walk." At this time, Kushina was sitting at home, all depressed. She sat silently on the sofa, hugging her legs and remembering the trail that led to the house, those pools of blood that stretched across the ground. She remembered this and cried. At this time, Minato was sorting through piles of papers, reports, assignments, orders, decrees, agreements. Minato was now struggling with all of this. He took a little break from it all. "Tit, wild boar." "Yes, Hokage-sama?" "Remove the trace of blood from the Jinchuriki." "Hi." The ANBU disappeared and Minato continued his work. The trio walked around Konoha. Along the way they were followed, as always, by Sakura and Ino. "Shall we go look for the demon?" Kiba suggested. "Come on, just yesterday my father showed me a couple of techniques." He hit Sasuke's palm with his fist. "I am for it." Menma raised his hands up. "Yes, Sasuke-kun, show your skills in hand-to-hand combat." Sakura supported him. "Well done, Kiba-kun," Ino shouted. The 5 went to look for Naruto. And now they have already been circling around Konoha for almost 4 hours, and now we were on the edge of one training ground. "Well, where is he?" Sasuke asked irritably. "He seemed to have disappeared into the ground," Sasuke said angrily. "Raya!" Kiba hit a tree. "Let's go to my father, he probably knows where the demon is," Menma said, standing up. They went to the residence. Knock on the door. "Yes, come in," Minato said without looking up from his papers. "Dad, hi, do you know where the demon is?" "Hello, Shikaku-sama, Fugaku-sama," Menma asked him, entering the office and sitting down on the sofa. "He died," Minato answered. "And how many times have I told you that when you leave the house, I am Hokage for you?" "Sorry, Hokage-sama. And how did he die?" Menma asked reproachfully. "I don't have to report to you, go, I have a lot of work." P.F. Menma left. "Hey Minato, are you serious? Naruto died?" Shikaku asked him. "I'll tell you more, we didn't find his body," Minato said, squeezing the pen in his hand. "I would better keep silent," said Fugaku. "What makes you think that he died?" Shikaku asked again. "After a skirmish with Jonins, the Jinchuriki had a broken rib. He went to the hospital and the doctor there told him that surgery was necessary, but he refused. And then in the evening of the same day he meets our sons, Fugaku, and they beat him, and at the end, when Kiba and Sasuke were holding the Jinchuriki by the hands, Menma hit him in the chest, and that broken rib pierced the lung and a laceration also appeared. Blood and Jinchuriki flowed from her like a stream." "Enough!" Fugaku interrupted him. "Agree," Shikaku supported him. "It's time to get to work. We had a good rest," Shikaku said, and everyone got to work. Menma was angry with his father. "Even here, with the heads of other clans, he does not recognize me as his son. I'm Menma Namikaze." He hit the wall with his hand. He went to his friends with a sad face. "The demon died," Menma said shortly. "That's what this demon needs," Sakura said joyfully. "Sakura is right, that's what he needs," her friend supported her. All day they had fun on the playgrounds, mocked other children and walked. At the end of the day, Menma returned home. Chapter 13 Two guys were walking along Kumo, one a brown cat, the other a brunette with shoulder-length hair. Listen, Naru, have you thought about getting a haircut? Nekuru asked, holding bags of groceries. No, I'm happy with my hair, and don't you remember the seasonings left? Naruto answered and asked. He wanted his hair to be like his dad, Madara. Don't know, it's you who cooks, not me, answered the cat, who loved to eat Naruto's strap. 2 months passed after the fight between Naruto and Nekuru, and during this time they became friends. These two boys were walking around Kumo and shopping for groceries for the brunette's practice. They went to an alley and Naruto sealed all the food in a scroll. The brunette's Fuin level was good for a shinobi, but for an uzumaki it was below average, a shame in one word. The two walked through Kumo all the while chatting about training and how tough the raikage could be. Even though they were boys of 10 or 11 and 8 or 7 years old, girls their age stared at them. After the fight between Nekuru and Naruto, A became more careful with the brunette and intensified his training. Every day this couple ran 10 kilometers with cobblestones on their backs. Of course Naruto did this in weight pads. Naruto's progress in mastering lightning was amazing. He could automatically cover a weapon with lightning and it would pierce a meter of rock. He learned such lightning techniques as electromagnetic killing, lightning rod, binding lightning, branching lightning, electric current, pitch darkness. This technique was used by Kakuzu. Naruto mastered all of the techniques at an amateur level, but he plans to start training them later. The brunette's most powerful lightning technique is pitch darkness, because it depends on chakra, and the brunette has more than enough of it. He also practiced kenjutsu and is quite good, at least to one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. The genjutsu does not work until the Sharingan is activated. Taijutsu was at a high level not only because of the Uzumaki's endurance and all-seeing Sharingan, but also because of everyday training and doing their job. Naruto wants to learn the Raikage's lightning shroud, but it just doesn't work out. Nikuro kept up with the brunette and also became stronger. He and Naruto became rivals. Walking along Kuma Street, having already purchased all the groceries, Naruto notices a weapons shop and decides to see what is there. There are a lot of weapons on the shelves, but nothing interesting. As a result, the brunette bought 100 kunai and shuriken as well as 50 senman. While walking home, the cat and the brunette decided to have a snack and went to a popular restaurant called Kumo. Let me give you a treat, Naru, the cat said on the way, saying that the food here is delicious. Well then, Naruto thought and saw a strange proposal. I want a dish from the chef. Everyone in the restaurant looked at him in shock, and the offer is, if you eat the entire dish from the chef without drinking water or milk, you can eat for half the price for a month. Boy, no need, said the visitor. It's impossible to eat, said the second one. It's from hell, said the third. Shut the fuck up, everyone, shouted a hard voice. Hey kid, aren't you afraid to eat it? The boss also asked. Naru, maybe it's not worth it. I heard about it. It's super spicy and no one has eaten more than half of it yet. Tried to dissuade Nekura because if he lost, he would have to pay twice as much as usual. But Naruto simply smiled excitedly. After about 20 minutes the dish was ready. It was ramen, but all red and talking about the death of the one who eats it. Without hesitation, Naruto ate everything, causing everyone's jaws to drop. According to rumors, this ramen is very spicy, even hellish, but the brunette ate it without any problems. Hey Naru, how are you feeling? Nekura asked worriedly. Yes, everything is fine, very tasty, the brunette answered. Ha 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 ha, I lost to the boy. The boss began to laugh. Can't you cook some more and give me a couple of recipes? Naruto asked with hope in his eyes. Why not? Everything will be now, short answer. And all the visitors were shocked that the boy was able to eat ramen and even asked for more, because even the smell of it hurt his nose. The next day they trained as always. Naruto decided to try a new technique. He concentrated the fire chakra in his mouth and began to accumulate it even more. A fiery breath escaped from the guy's mouth. Naruto decided to call it Fire Roar. This technique was used by Kurama in the battle with Pain when Naruto went berserk. The heat from this fire is so intense that the stones simply melted. Putting out a fire using water techniques was not very easy. The brunette began to be afraid of himself, but decided to continue training. A little later, while practicing taijutsu, 4 chains were released from Naruto's body and destroyed a nearby rock, from which Naruto fell from the cliff and flew down, but the chains stuck into the rock and prevented him from falling. Thanks to the chains, Naruto rose back up. Naruto was now training alone and was surprised. No, he was perplexed by this. Naruto was thinking about mid-range attacks and then chains appear from his body. But he remembered that he had read in the books Madara had placed in his backpack that in the Uzumaki clan, women could awaken chakra chains. In rare cases, men also succeeded, and if women's chains passed through the enemy without wounds and held him back, and put Fuinjutsu seals, because of this they could be used on allies for support. For men they were material, and passed through the enemy with blood and entrails. In other words, they are not suitable for support, but for attacks, please. After an hour, the brunette understood how to control them and decided to practice using them. Naruto ran at the mannequin and attacked it with one chain and pierced the chest, then jumped and again pierced the chest and head of other mannequins with chains, and on this cruel note I decided to end. A thunderstorm was brewing. Naruto was about to leave, but he felt someone's gaze, and it was not the gaze of a person. White lightning flew at the brunette. Chapter 14 White lightning flew towards Naruto, but Naruto sensed the threat and managed to dodge. A crater remained in the place where the lightning struck. I would definitely die if I stayed where I was. These were Naruto's thoughts. And what kind of creature is this? Naruto looked at the creature with the body of a white horse, a lush mane, and one horn on its forehead, and tufts of hair on its legs. It was covered with lightning, and the horn was emitting white lightning. The shape of the horn was straight, and with one glance it said that it could easily pierce anything. The size was somewhere around 5 meters. There was greatness and calm in the creature's eyes. These eyes looked at the brunette as if assessing something. A horse with a horn and covered with lightning? If I survive, I'll sit in the library looking for information, the brunette said to himself under his breath. The creature attacked and crashed into the rock at lightning speed. Initially, the blow would have hit Naruto, but the brunette, thanks to his reaction, managed to move with a shunshin. The brunette looked at where the creature hit, and there was a mark. This creature will definitely kill me with one blow if it hits me, Naruto thought as he activated his Sharingan. The creature appeared from behind a cloud of dust and flies towards the brunette. Naruto had nowhere to go because he was on the edge of a cliff, and he came up with a plan. The creature rushed towards the brunette, but he began to fall back right where the abyss was. The creature fell down, and Uzumaki hung on a chain. Thanks to her, he climbed back. Damn it, the eye, he still managed to hook me with his horn, Naruto said as he landed on the ground. Naruto placed his hand over his left eye. Vertical impact. There is a possibility that the left eye will cease to function. Okay, we have to go. The brunette was about to leave and figure out what kind of nonsense it was, but Naruto felt the deadly key. Turning around, he saw a creature standing in the air, but rather it melted away with lightning from her feet. With that look where there was no anger, but rather expectation and evaluation, Naruto saw that look and knew that this creature did not see him as a threat. It looks like I have nowhere to go. Well, I'll have to fight, Naruto said with a gambling smile, realizing that he would lose. The brunette threw kunai and shuriken at the creature, but they all silently rushed through this creature. Then he applied the techniques. Fireball, water ball, electromagnetic kill. None of these did significant damage. The creature rose on its hind legs, struck with its front legs, and several lightning bolts flew at Naruto. He dodged, but one hit. The clouds began to thicken and rain began to pour. It seems this is my end. Not like that. Well, at least not at the hands of those scumbags. Naruto wanted to give up because he couldn't defeat this creature. He remembers all the little but good things he had, and he understands that he does not want to die. No, I still have a debt to those, thought Naruto. He has never hated anyone, but now he wants to tear apart the sons and daughters of the Uchiha clan, Inuzuka, Yamanaka, Haruno, and this strange son of the Hokage, and it wouldn't hurt to hit the Hokage himself and the elders. The creature is about to leave, but a kunai flies at him. It looks back with a satisfied look. Barely. But Naruto got up and sent a bunch of techniques at the creature. Fire dragon, depth charge, water cannon. The seals again, and the brunette uses the flood technique, and then the will of the sea god. All the water from Naruto's techniques, and the rain began to collect in the shape of a dragon, and light blue lights lit up. Naruto's eyes turned blue, and instead of being red, Naruto's Sharingan was completely blue. Naruto stood and made seals of concentration, but his consciousness turned into something else. I feel out of place, Naruto said in an offended voice. This is my body and my consciousness and my dragon, so let's have some fun, said the brunette. At first he didn't understand what was happening, but then he put 2 and 2 together. The creature ran towards Naruto, who in turn, in the guise of a water dragon, began to bite and scratch the creature, which also struck and cut with lightning. It was a monster fight. Naruto in dragon form had to watch his body so as not to accidentally throw it off. The fight continued with thunder and lightning occurring every time the creature kicked. The brunette decided to do something stupid. He began to accumulate fire chakra in the water dragon's body. But how surprising it was! The sea dragon breathes out scarlet flames. The creature was noticeably battered and it attacked again. Naruto bit, scratched, used water and fire breath. The creature used lightning and a horn. After a couple of minutes, Naruto ran out of chakra and the water dragon disappeared. But the brunette was still on his feet. The creature stamped its foot and lightning flew at Naruto. But it was suppressed by Susanoo. Naruto's body was enveloped by a phantom warrior. Naruto's Susanoo was black and blood was flowing from his eyes. I use a regular Sharingan, but why can I call Susanoo? Okay, then I'll ask Dad about it, Naruto said to himself and stood in front of his enemy at full height. I won't lose to you, Naruto said with a satisfied smile and bleeding eyes. I like the opponent's words echoed. So you can talk? The brunette was surprised and looked at the creature and noted that it was very beautiful. Answer me, why don't you want to give up? The creature asked approaching me. Because I've already been in the hands of Shinigami and more, I'm not drawn to him, and the cut on my eye is unlikely to keep me from the battle. I was never surrounded by people I cared about, but now they are. I'm not going to give up because of a couple of losses. The brunette spoke confidently. Yes, I like this kind of character, obstinate and unshakable. What is your name? The creature asked, tilting its head forward. Uzumaki Naruto. Okay Naruto, I recognize you and give you my power. Touch me, said the creature. Naruto did so and felt some kind of kinship. A bond formed between the creature and Naruto, similar to a water dragon or Kyuubi. My name Kirin, said the creature, disappearing. Naruto passed out when he heard his name. He woke up in the Kumo hospital. Nikuro was sleeping on a chair next to him. There was still a thunderstorm and downpour outside the window. Nikuro? What are you doing here? I asked, getting up. Ototo, where to? You can't move, Nekura said. What actually happened and how did I end up in the hospital? We heard roars, and lightning struck often, especially their color seemed strange. He was white, and Reikage-sama brought you here. You were all sad, and by the way your eye, Nekura said with a drooping voice. What's wrong with him? Naruto asked with a businesslike look. A battle wound. Because of the bangs it will not be visible at all, so do not worry, better help me get out of here. What? I'll make a double portion for lunch. Did you take your slippers? An hour later I was already lying in my room. Naruto, what happened when you were training? Nekura asked. Well, when I already stopped training, I was hit by lightning, then a horse appeared with a white mane and a horn on its head, and in the distance. Naruto, are you sure you're feeling good? Nekura asked him, interrupting him. Yes, but what's the matter? Naruto asked in surprise. Just what horse are you talking about? Ah, that's what you're talking about. This is the embodiment of lightning, so it came running to me. Okay, Nekuru, I'll sleep a little and then cook something to eat, but first, bring some food to cook, you know what to buy. Okay, get some sleep. Naruto immediately fell asleep and Nekura took the money and went shopping. At this time, a man was sitting at the Reikage's post, sweating profusely. Where did Naruto go? Not only did he lose an eye, but he also disappeared. What will I tell Madara? Okay, let's go find Nekura. He knows more about Naruto. He got up and went to look for Naruto. Commentary on Chapter 14. Who is interested in Kirin from the game Monster Hunter? Chapter 15 In the subconscious during the fight between Naruto and Kirin. And the baby has already awakened the chains of Kongo Fuso. Of course I knew that men could awaken them too, but in my life there was only one, Kyuubi said, surprised at the progress of his Jinchuriki. Hey Fox, have you really decided to watch him? The dragon suddenly said, appearing from the water. It's rare to see something like the Uzumaki chains awaken, Kyuubi no Yoko excused himself. Yeah, I believed you. I was more surprised by his new fire technique, Dragon expressed his thoughts. By the way, will you tell me your name? It is not convenient to talk to a neighbor without knowing his name, said the dragon. Yes? And then you will tell Naruto to you right now, answered the fox. Ha, it's fun with you, Fox. Did you feel it? The dragon asked alarmedly. Yes, a very powerful chakra of the lightning element, Kyuubi said, starting up. One of your brothers? Kyuubi asked, looking at the dragon. Yes, and I can even guess who it is, the dragon answered with a semblance of a smile. What kind of horse is this, horned and also covered with lightning? The fox was perplexed. Seriously? It seems like you should know more about us, the dragon reproached him. Yes, I know about you, but not in such detail. I only know that you are the embodiment of the forces of the elements and nature, and that you have a hierarchy. Yes, everything is correct. I occupy one of the highest levels of the hierarchy in the water, and this is, as you put it, a horned horse. This is Kirin. He is also the highest, but in lightning," said the dragon. "He almost lost an eye, but you have to be able to outwit one of us." Kyubi did not understand why he was happy for Naruto, and began to put his chakra into the eye to find out how he saw his Jinchuriki. "Although he is an Uchiha, he is also my Jinchuriki, but at the same time he is kind to me," Kyubi's thoughts, remembering his father's words. "My children, I don't have long left, but don't be sad, people will crave your power, don't be angry with them. If they take control of you, don't resist. One day, each of you will find your friend and your friends will unite and become a family." "Don't relax, Kirin is an intangible form, and he can fly on his own," said the dragon. "This hail of techniques did not harm him, but this form does. How can we understand this?" asked the fox. "I myself am surprised that he transferred my consciousness into his body. I wanted to enter it myself, but let me get used to it now, and the fact is that in intangible forms, only another incarnation can inflict normal damage on another incarnation, or one must use a superior element. But alas, Naruto does not have wind techniques," answered the dragon. Clearly Naruto liked Kirin that much, the dragon said with some envy from the fact that he did not really take part in the battle. "I'm more worried about his eye and Sharingan, because he was able to awaken Susanoo," Kyubi said with some concern. "And here is the new neighbor," said the dragon, resting his muzzle on his hand, and resting his hand on the shore of the lake. "So that means I'm not the first, but this explains how Naruto-kun was able to harm me," Kirin said. "Naruto-kun Jinchuriki, this explains his frantic regeneration even for an uzumaki," Kirin said, already lying down on the grass. "I never thought you would recognize anyone, Leviathan." "Kirin, don't call me that," Leviathan barked. "Why not? It suits you perfectly, a raging water dragon that brings chaos, Leviathan, or all the evil of the world," the horse spoke with amusement. "People called me that after they coveted my treasure," Leviathan said. "Yes, you're right, people killed sea inhabitants, and you drowned people in their defense. Their imagination is limitless, and lack of maturity only destroys them," Kirin recalled the past. "Why did you recognize Naruto as Kirin?" Kyubi added. "Yes, the reasons are not very different from the reasons for Leviathan. We have similar characters, and each incarnation will choose a master in its own way." The end of the subconscious. The Raikage met Nikuro while he was shopping for groceries. "Nikuro, where is Naruto?" "Answer," said the Raikage, taking the cat by the scruff of the neck. "Naruto is resting at home now, he says he's fine," the cat said in a trembling voice. "Stop intimidating him," said the muscular old man. "First Sama?" asked Ai and Nikuro at the same time. 10 minutes later Naruto and Nekuro are at the house. "Oh Nikuro, you've been gone for a long time," Naruto said as he came down with his right eye bandaged. "We're in shit," the brunette said looking at the Raikage, who was holding Nikuro by the scruff of the neck. "Hello Uzumaki Naruto, I wanted to meet you," the old man said, turning to Naruto and then attacking. The old man was covered in lightning and flew towards the brunette. Naruto managed to dodge thanks to his right eye in reaction, and the old man broke the wall. "Ho ho ho, you are really interesting and capable," said the old man. "I would have had a hard time if I had been hit. I haven't fully recovered from Kirin anyway," Naruto's thoughts. "Who are you?" Naruto asked, putting on a gambling smile. "This is the first Raikage and the founder of Kumo," Nikuro told his friend without being surprised. "He is also my teacher and the creator of the lightning shroud," Hei finished. "Naruto Uzumaki, I'll ask directly, have you met the embodiment of lightning?" the Raikage asked menacingly so that the brunette would answer exactly. "If by the embodiment of lightning you mean a white horse covered with lightning, with a lush mane and one horn, then, yes, I met you," Naruto said, sitting down on the sofa and touching his bandaged eye. Everyone else sat down too. "I immediately understood it when I saw white lightning," said the first Raikage. He was very muscular, but his face showed his age. "What is this incarnation?" Nikuro asked. "I'm interested too," Hei said. "Not what they are, but who they are. This is just a legend, but it says that even before the chakra and the sage of the 6 paths, there were incarnations of the elements. There were many of them and they appeared in different forms. They were also called differently by spirits, guardians, and ambassadors of nature. It was said that if the embodiment of fire is angered, a volcano will erupt, water will erupt, a tsunami will erupt, the earth will erupt, an earthquake will occur, wind will cause a tornado, lightning will cause a thunderstorm. It also depended on how strong the embodiment was. They have a hierarchy. They also united with people, giving them control over their element. The first one spoke as he remembered the legend. "My friend possessed the embodiment of the earth golem, and it was truly a strong creature. His techniques were head and shoulders above Doton's masters, and he himself could become a golem. What happened to your friend? Naruto asked. He encountered another person with an incarnation. There were no hidden villages then and everyone was for themselves. My friend encountered the owner of Silva, the embodiment of the wind, and when they both became serious it was not a fight but a disaster, said the first one. Well, Naruto, you have an incarnation, right? Yes, Naruto answered briefly. In a few days. Hey Naruto, how's your eye? Nikuro asked while basking in the hot spring. It's okay, the brunette answered. Yes, I envy you, the embodiment of lightning is cool, and it's not even known what you will be capable of with it, said the cat. I have 2 of them. What? I have 2 incarnations of lightning and water, Naruto said to Nikuro because he trusted. Well, you're a beetle, honestly, a beetle, okay, you probably won't die, Naru. I want to ask you something, Nikuro said getting up from the source. I'm all ears, and please sit down. My name is Nikuro Ni, and Naruto, if you ever find a person with that last name, please help him, Nikuro asked. A strange request, but since you ask, I will help. Thank you very much, Nikuro bowed to Naruto. It's not obligatory. Chapter 16 2 years have passed since the Kirin incident. Naruto mastered Raiden at a master level, also advanced Suiton and Katon, and mastered Doton a little. Raiden and Suiton are equally strong thanks to Kirin and Leviathan. Kato gave in a little, but the brunette gave any shinobi a light. He began to carry out missions with Nikuro. Well, more precisely, he simply went with Nikuro without permission. Where on one of the missions he was called a pyromaniac. Doton was at the amateur level and was the weakest of the brunette's elements, but he could perform simple techniques with a bang, although he did not have a predisposition for this. In taijutsu, he grew head and shoulders, especially with the use of Kong Fuso's chains, and also during this time he developed his sensory skills a little. Nikuro also kept up with Naruto and they were more or less equal in taijutsu and sensory skills, which he also successfully developed. Koshak also mastered futon. Naruto got up early in the morning and went to the bathroom. I've been here for 2 years already, but the eye is still the same. Naruto lowered his bangs and covered his right eye with it. Naruto had a vertical scar that started from his forehead and ended at his cheek. The eye was badly damaged, now he could see worse, but this problem disappeared when the Sharingan activated it. Naruto completed his morning rations and went to eat. Oh, Naru, good morning, Nekura said coming to the delicious smell. Hello to you too, sit down and eat. Are we going on a mission today? Okay, bon appetit. Yes, today we should be given another mission. Then, less words, more action. After eating, Nekuru and Naruto collected their things, got dressed and went to the Reikage. Today you have a reconnaissance mission. And what is the purpose of our intelligence? Naruto asked. He always found out all the factors, and on missions he thought about and weighed his decisions 5 times. I was informed that Fog decided to quietly sneak across our border. Your task is to find their squad and sabotage their camp. Hi, said 2 teenagers. Nekuru and Naruto did not hesitate. Having taken the scroll about the mission, they immediately ran to the place where the shinobi of the fog were supposed to be. During these 2 years, they achieved perfect teamwork. They understood each other without words, and predicted the actions of their partner. Nico, is this the place? Look in the scroll. Yes, it is. Begin? Yes. Naruto and Nekura found the 2 shinobi who were on patrol furthest from the camp and knocked them out. The 2 then used a henge and walked towards the missed shinobi. Hey guys, don't you think we haven't come far enough? Naruto asked sitting down near the fire. Yes, we won't get that far, Nekura supported him. Hey both of you, have you forgotten that we are the 2-tailed and 8-tailed Jinchuriki here? And not to trample the ground. Yes, we remember, Naruto and Nekura answered in unison. After another hour of talking, everyone in the camp went to bed, putting out the fire and posting sentries. Naruto and Nekura got up in the middle of the night and decided to take a short walk. Hey, both of you, where are you going? One of the approaching guards asked them. Call of nature, Naruto blurted out, unable to think of anything better. Okay. The duo moved on and disappeared into the foliage of the trees, hiding their chakra. I couldn't do anything better, damn. How disgusting this soup of theirs is, Nekura said while vomiting from the tree. Compared to their food, your stub is the food of the gods. Well, thanks for the comparison, Naruto twitched his eyebrow, but he was pleased to hear the words of praise. And so, I will create a diversion, and you will confuse them. Okay, well, let's have some fun. Naruto jumped from the tree and went underground. With the help of sensors and Doton, He made tunnels under each tent and installed explosive seals in them. Nekoru, turning again into a shinobi of the mist, but with bloody hands and scratches, ran to the camp. "We were attacked!" Nekoru shouted, running into the camp. "What? Who dared?" asked Shinobi Kiri, and at that very moment explosions occurred. But when? The shinobi didn't have time to finish when he was pierced by Nikiro's claws. Naruto at the same time crawled out of cover and, with the help of wakizashi, began to chop down those who had survived. Because he had missed some tents, Naruto's sword art also increased, so that he was not inferior to the Kiri shinobi in Kenjutsu. Nikiro released a blue fireball at the ninja who wanted to hit Naruto from behind. For 30 minutes there was a battle in which Naruto and Nikiro killed 16 out of 32, 9 managed to escape, but they were reached by techniques. Naruto, who launched a single lightning bolt and 2 uzumaki chains, and Nikiro, who used fire bullets and a wind sickle. The result was that Naruto killed 3 more, and Nikiro killed 2. They captured the last 2 and sealed them in scrolls. Arriving back, they reported to Iwai, and those 2 prisoners were given for interrogation. Arriving home, Naruto went into the shower to wash off the blood, and noticed a red strand of hair. The Uzumaki genes begin to manifest themselves even more strongly, Naruto said as he came out of the shower, and began cleaning his wakizashi. "Hey Naruto, let's go somewhere to eat, you'll be leaving back to Konoha in 2 days, the cat said upset. He did not want to part with his friend. "Yes, okay, I agree, let's go, and don't be so sad, we're not saying goodbye forever." "Yes," Nekoru said, becoming a little more cheerful. 2 boys came to Naruto's favorite place because they were given a discount here, and among local visitors, the brunette became a legend, because he eats Hell's Ramen. Every time he comes, no one understood how he succeeds. Naruto became friends with the chef, and the latter gave a copy of his recipes. Arriving home, Naruto and Nekoru immediately went to their rooms and went to bed. The next morning, Naruto was already in the Raikage's office at 8 o'clock in the morning. "Well Naruto, your 2-year training has come to an end," he said with a heavy sigh. "Alas, but yes, are you upset about something?" the brunette asked in surprise. "I don't want to let you go, you are a good shinobi as well as a person in general." "It's clear," Naruto said with a grin, he was pleased with such praise from the Raikage. "Okay, I'll go get ready. We'll see you off, at the central gate in 2 hours. "Fine," Naruto said, and closed the door behind him. Naruto returned to his floor. I went into the room and began to get ready. Having secured the wakizashi on the left side of his back, he began to put shuriken and kunai into pouches. He also found the map he used to go to Kumo, after which he went to Nekoru. "Hey Nekoru, let's go for a walk, I still have a whole hour left," said Naruto, cheerful as always. "Went," Nekoru said joylessly. Nekoru walked depressed and sad. What didn't escape Naruto? "Nico, did something happen? After you leave, I will feel lonely, and they will start bullying me again, calling me a monster, etc." "Stop it, who will call you that?" "I have already set the brains of such people, true, some of them won't tell anyone anything, but that doesn't matter. What about Yukain?" "She what?" "Neru, stop it. I asked you not to talk about this topic." "So stop, I see that you like her, you feel good with her, even better than with me, you understand this yourself. Moreover, she likes you too, so go for it." Naruto and Nekoru unwittingly approached the gate. "Well, Naruto-kun, it's time to say goodbye," said the first Raikage. "Yes," Naruto said without losing enthusiasm, "Raikage-sama, thank you for teaching me your signature technique. For piercing fingers of hell." "You're welcome, to be honest, of all the residents of my village, only you were able to master it." "Okay, I have to run," Naruto said as he left. "Bye," said the Raikage. "Bye, Neru," Nekoru said. Naruto walked up to him and hugged his head, leaning it against his own, like Itachi and Sasuke. "I will always be with you, and by your side, no matter what you say or do, I will always be with you," Naruto said smiling happily. Nekoru began to cry at these words. "I went," Naruto said and began to leave the village. Naruto's journey to Konoha took 5 days. Arriving in Konoha, he noticed some movement among the residents. Anxiety and fear reigned in the village. Naruto decided to find out what was what, so without going home, he immediately ran to the residence where he could find out everything. He saw Tobirama on the roof of the residence. "Let's not crowd, there's enough room for everyone in the shelter," Tobirama shouted from the roof. "Tobirama-sensei, what happened? What's the fuss about?" Naruto asked, jumping onto the roof. "Your dad has gone crazy. He wanted to build a world without illusions and deception, and to do this, he first needs to destroy Konoha," Tobirama said, taking Naruto by the collar. "And you're his son?" Tobirama couldn't finish because Naruto punched him in the face and he flew off the roof. Naruto ran through the remains of Madara and Hashirama's chakra. Damn, I read about it. The final battle between the Uchiha and Senju in the Valley of the End. Am I too late? Naruto thought to himself as he ran. When he came running, he saw Madara and Hashirama standing on the water. Hashirama pierced Madara with his sword, causing him to die and bleed. I will not allow harm to the people dear to me, the village and its inhabitants, be it a brother, a father, or his own child. Hashirama finished speaking and let go of the sword. From what he saw, Naruto began to awaken his Mangekyo Sharingan. I will have a photo of him in my group. You can look at it and leave if you want. The Mangekyo was a small square and around it there were 4 lines completing the sketch of the MS. There were also crosses in the picture, symbolizing the power and capabilities of the Sharingan. Naruto did not shout, he quietly left there. Returned to the village and went towards the training grounds. His face showed nothing, no emotion, no regret, just emotionlessness. Tobirama, seeing Naruto's condition, did not stop or say anything to him. He realized what had happened. Mito was also outside, and seeing Naruto, she wanted to scream about Madara, but seeing more severe facial features and a red strand, she realized that it was his son, Naruto. Tobirama, what happened? Why is Naruto-kun like this? Mito began asking Tobirama, taking him by the collar, and what's wrong with your face? Mito calmed down. Hashirama, as I understand it, killed Madara and Naruto saw it, and that's why he has this condition. It's better not to touch him now, Tobirama said, taking Mito by the hand and leading her away. 5 minutes later, a roar and sounds of destruction were heard. Hashirama heard this and ran to Konoha. Along the way he saw a trail of blood. Damn, really? Hashirama thought to himself. When Hashirama ran to the village, Tobirama stopped him and told him everything. How long has he been destroying everything there? Hashirama asked with bitterness in his voice. It's been about 30 minutes. Each explosion and cracking of trees is as good as the previous one. When he stops, he will most likely collapse from exhaustion, Tobirama said also sadly. Did you kill him? Yes, Hashirama squeezed out. People began to leave the shelter. Seal your chakra, said the fox to the incarnations. Kirin sealed himself and lay down next to Kyubi. Leviathan went under the water and lay sealed at the bottom of the lake. Kyubi also decided to seal his chakra like the chakra of his Jinchuriki, but due to its volume, he could only seal 60% of Naruto's total chakra reserve. Soon the explosions and screams stopped, and everyone gradually began to calm down. All calm down, Tobirama said with relief, handing over the bandages to Mito, who was treating Hashirama. 4 hours of non-stop explosions and attacks. How I feel sorry for him, Hashirama said, clenching his hands into fists. And when everything had more or less calmed down, everything resumed. Naruto destroyed a lot and threw everything he could get his hands on. He has already destroyed 5 polygons by making one out of it. Blood flowed from the eyes even more than with the usual use of the Mangekyo Sharingan, but Naruto did not know about it, and did not pay attention to it. Madara! A roar was heard from the side. Hashirama and Tobirama were alarmed. Residents began to panic. Explosions and roars began to repeat one after another again. A huge tree flew across the entire village and disappeared behind a mountain of a statue of the first face. Has this tree just flown by? Mito asked in surprise. Yes, Naruto is very strong. He is stronger physically than technically, and Madara told me that Naruto has weights on his arms and legs that add 4 kilograms each day, total 16 kilograms every day. I can't imagine what he can do if he takes them off, Hashimura said. Will he take it off? Is he wearing weights now? Yes, Tobirama answered for his brother. Madara. The roar repeated. I'll find you, get you and kill you in the next world. You can't get away from me, damn it. Naruto shouted, destroying everything. Mito, try to calm him down, Tobirama said. What? Asked Hashirama. He will kill her as soon as he sees her. Mito, you are from the same clan, and especially since you have chains, you can handle it. Okay, I'll try. Mito and the 2 brothers ran towards Naruto. When they came running they saw a big hole. It stretched 3 by 3 kilometers. In the middle of this clearing stood a black skeleton of a Susanoo that crushed trees into dust, and Naruto stood in tears. He remembered how he played and was childish with Madara. I read with him and cooked dinner. We walked together day and night, studied the basics and techniques. He remembered all this and cried. After which he passed out due to emotional shock. After which Susanoo dissipated, the trio carried the unconscious Naruto home. The brothers and Mito decided that it was better not to touch him for now and let him be alone. Chapter 17 . In a house on the outskirts of Konoha, an 8-year-old boy was sitting on the stairs. He was crying and smiling. "Why, Dad, why didn't you promise that you wouldn't leave me?" Naruto said every 10 minutes. 7 days have passed since the battle between Madara and Hashirama, as well as Naruto's rampage. Naruto didn't leave the house all this time. The sounds and ghosts of life did not appear in this house either. The psychological state of the brunette with red locks was very bad. Into Naruto's subconscious. "We have to do something or Naruto will just starve to death," Kirin said. "He'll probably go crazy from lack of sleep," Leviathan affirmed, fearing for the one he recognized. "If it weren't for that damn seal, grrrr," Kyuubi growled with anger all the time, hitting the cage and scratching the seal. "If not for her, I could take control of his body and not let him die by giving him food and sleep, or at least giving him enough chakra to make up for the deficiencies in food," Kyuubi said with rage. He was brought to this brunette because he came almost every day to visit him and talk to him. "I have an idea on how to help Naruto," said Kirin. "Spit it out," Kurama and Leviathan said simultaneously. "Because of this seal and Naruto's weak mental state, we cannot contact him, but if we combine our energy and adjust it to Naruto, we can forcibly drag him into the subconscious. You understand that one mistake and Naruto's consciousness will collapse like a Christmas tree decoration," shouted the angry Leviathan, "because it is very difficult to adjust the chakra of such creatures as he and Kirin and such chakra reserves as the Kyuubi." "Let's do it as Kirin suggested, but with changes," said the fox. "What? Which ones?" Leviathan did not understand. "Instead, we use our combined chakra to activate his Sharingan," said the fox, realizing that it was safer, but the two incarnations did not understand why this was necessary. "I studied the properties of Naruto's Mangyoku Sharingan, and I realized what abilities he has, and one of them is time manipulation, and thanks to it he can look into the past and future," answered the fox. "I understand that by activating this ability we can stabilize his mental state a little," Kirin said. "And how exactly can this help us?" Leviathan did not understand. "Thanks to the vision of the past, he will be able to see Madara," Kyuubi said. "But isn't it risky that we'll just finish him off this way?" The dragon contacted the obvious fact. "Well, it's safer anyway," Kirin approved. "Okay, I'm for it." Leviathan gave up, because there were no other ideas. These three began to mix chakra and directed it into the brunette's eyes. Naruto sat in the same position, but he heard a familiar voice. Raising his head, his eyes changed to Mangyoku. "Do I already have glitches?" Naruto said in a depressed voice, after which I heard Madara's voice again from the direction of the kitchen, and he ran there. "Naruto, I need to tell you something," said the standing Madara. Naruto ran towards him and wanted to hug him, but he went through it. "What? What does it mean?" Naruto said in an incomprehensible voice. "Naruto, I want him to find his way in life, follow it, and never turn aside. I'm disappointed in this world, I want to build a new one and someone told me how to do it. This world will be a world without wars, I will put the whole world under genjutsu and no one will fight or shed blood. But if I am disappointed in this world, it does not mean that you should too. I love you, Naruto. You have become my son and I will always be by your side, so forgive me," Madara said looking at Naruto. "I think this will do, but what if Naruto still hates me?" After the speech Madara said, on the last word he drooped and grabbed his head. Maybe it's better to just leave without telling Naruto anything. After all, Hashirama will probably try to stop me, but even this idiot will probably be able to understand that Naruto has nothing to do with it," Madara said as he sat down at the table. "What it is? Am I in the astral plane? Or, this is the ability of your Mangyoku Sharingan," sounded in my head. "Look in the mirror." Naruto turned to the mirror and saw a burning drawing of the Mangyoku in his eyes. "Naruto, it was something that happened in the past," Kirin said, lowering himself to the brunette. "Clear," Naruto said bitterly and with a grin. "Enough, Naruto, you heard what Madara said, stop grieving for him, he was ready for this and he didn't want you to be in this state because of him," the fox shouted, unable to bear it. Naruto approached the cage and broke the already weakened seal from the two incarnations. Kyuubi burst out of the cage and threw it over his head. "Didn't you want to kill me?" Naruto said. "It happened before, I watched you, you are not like other people in Uchihas. I hate the Uchiha because one of them took control of me on your birthday. But this does not mean that I hate you too, you are different, both I and these two will not leave you alone," the fox said softly, calming the brunette as best he could. "Thank you, Kyuubi." "Don't call me Kyuubi, I have a name." "And what is your name?" "Kurama." "Thank you, Kurama." "Naruto-kun, we will never leave you," Kirin said. "We, the highest incarnations, always keep our word and never leave a friend in trouble," said Leviathan. "I'm Kirin." "I am Leviathan." We swear on our names that we will not leave you even after death. You will get me in my grave, Naruto said, jumping off Kurama's head and began to walk away. Kurama, Kirin, Leviathan, thank you, Naruto said and disappeared from his subconscious. The next day, 3 people were walking towards Naruto's house. I hope Naruto-kun is back to normal, Mito said worriedly. It's not Naruto's fault. These were Madara's last words, said Hashirama. I'm sorry I lost my temper with Naruto back then, Tobirama said in turn. At this time, an explosion was heard behind the house and Mito, Hashirama and Tobirama ran towards the explosion. What, haven't you calmed down? Tobirama asked reproachfully. Running behind the house, they saw that the backyard was already a new training ground. Kato, fire of 5 mirrors, Naruto said, mixing the 2 techniques. First, water appeared from the earth, then fire, and then 5 mirrors began to appear around the mannequin. They were spinning and balls of fire flew out of them and hit their target. Raiten, thunder, a clap of thunder was heard from the sky and then lightning struck. Hashirama, who is this? Mito asked, tugging at his sleeve. This is Naruto Uzumaki. Suetun, water dragon's roar, Naruto blew out a large stream of water from behind his mouth, which began to take the form of a dragon. Phew, that's enough for now, and a little later I think I can train in taijutsu, Naruto said, walking into the house. Ooh, Hashirama-sensei and Tobirama-sensei? What are you doing here? And who is this with you? Naruto asked, hanging his head to the side. Hello Naruto, we heard explosions and came here, and this is my wife Mito Uzumaki. Meet me. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, nice to meet you, Naruto bowed to Mito. Me too, Naruto-kun. Mito bowed in response. Well, let's go into the house, Naruto said, waving his hand, and everyone went into the house. Hey Hashirama, have you noticed that Naruto has changed? Yes, I noticed, but it's understandable why. While talking, Naruto didn't show any emotion on his face, there was only indifference on him. Arriving at the house, Naruto poured tea for everyone. Naruto-kun, you look a lot like Madara. Yes, and with what? His voice was soft, although his face was serious and indifferent. Behavior, composure, talent, manner of speaking. Well, yes, in this we are very similar, Naruto said, grinning a little. They have the same hairstyle and facial features, only with you they are a little more serious and more pronounced, the eyes are similar. We are not our own son and father, Naruto interrupted her. Oh, sorry. It's okay, Hashirama-sensei, when can I complete missions if at all? Well, if you've already returned to normal, you can start today, Hashirama said, putting his hand to his chin. Naruto, forgive me for running into you then, Tobirama said in a guilty voice. It is not your fault, you protected the residents, and then I was a threat. I somehow restrained myself so as not to spill my anger on the territory of the village. Thank you for this. My pleasure, by the way, you weren't going this way because of the explosion, were you? Our house is located away from the others, Naruto said. Yes, you are right, we wanted to check on you. Oh, one more thing, Naruto-kun, they told me that you have a Mangekyo Sharingan. Can you let me take a look? Hashirama tugged Mito by the shoulder. Yes, sure, Naruto replied, putting his tea aside. Naruto activated his Sharingan, and blood began to flow from his eye. Naruto! Hashirama said worriedly. Everything is fine, Naruto reassured him. This always happens when I activate the Sharingan. Now the patterns in Naruto's eyes began to change. The Tomo have disappeared, Mito was surprised. Having disappeared, the Tomo left a red circle. After a second, a large square began to appear. Once formed, it began to shrink and appeared as a diamond around the pupil. After the diamond, zigzag-shaped lines began to appear and they connected around the diamond. The drawing was completed by crosses, which were in a chaotic order and were even on the pupils. This is my Mangekyo, Naruto said. And then the blood flowed even more and faster. Naruto put his hand to his eye and scrunched his face a little. Naruto, how are you? Tobirama asked. More or less normal, Naruto said, wiping away the blood. Beautiful drawing, Hashirama said. Thank you, when can I come for a mission? Come on in 2 hours, Tobirama said, otherwise he still needs to deal with a pile of papers. Fine, Naruto answered. Chapter 18 After talking with Hashirama, Tobirama and Mito, Naruto decided to take a walk into his subconscious. And now he is already in a beautiful valley and Kurama is sleeping in a mountain cave, Leviathan is swimming in the lake, and Kirin is lying in a spacious clearing. Hey! Guys! Naruto shouted and all 3 heard him. Naruto, what is it? Yan and Kurama. Yes, I'm just going on a mission in about 2 hours, the brunette with even more pronounced red strands answered emotionlessly. I hope we can have some fun, said Leviathan. Most likely, the mission will be easy, because for everyone, Naruto is still a child, Kirin stated the obvious. Levi Key, I'll ask for a harder mission, and also, what abilities do you have? The brunette asked a question that had interested him for a long time. In Kumo, you said that your abilities are divided into certain stages, like the Sharingan, and the first of them is the strengthening of your native elements, and its rapid development. The scarred one said, remembering. As always, a good memory, you'll find out as the mission progresses if it's worth anything, Leviathan said, and Kirin supported him. Fine, the brunette did not react at all. Naruto stood at the residence and went for a mission. On the way he met Mito, who was bringing food to her husband. As they stood up, Mito noticed that the brunette had clan traits and offered to train Naruto in Fuin, but in return he would sit with her granddaughter, to which Naruto agreed, although he was slightly surprised that Hashirama and Mito already had children considering that they looked very young. Entering the Hokage's office, Naruto asked for a more difficult mission and provided a scroll where his missions with Nikuro were described. Naruto, I'll probably give you a D-rank mission, Hashirama said. Naruto didn't react at all, but he was unhappy. To this, Naruto simply took out a scroll where he kept a record of all the completed missions with Nikuro. These are the missions that you carried out in Kumo. They are mostly B rank, but there are also A rank, and considering that you did not go alone, but with a partner, Tobirama read the scroll. He often helped his brother with papers, and if he had not done this, the village could have been destroyed socially and economically 10 times before Madara's madness. Mito was also interested, and she was very surprised not so much by the missions as by Naruto's excellent handwriting and accurate accounting, which once again proved that he was a real Uzumaki. Okay, I'll give you a C rank. This mission is to help a small village with a group of bandits. Having given up, the first explained the essence of the mission. Got it, I'm moving out, short answer. Good luck, all three said simultaneously. Naruto walked towards the gates of Konoha, and after he had gone far enough, Kirin contacted him. Naruto, here's one of my abilities. It speeds you up while covering you with lightning, but don't confuse this with the Raikage's cover. It only covers your legs and is much better. To use it, you need to use the lightning element chakra to direct it to your legs and compress it as tightly as possible, and then add my energy, Kirin explained, disconnecting. Naruto did just that. His legs were covered with white lightning. They are always white after meeting Kirin. It was similar to when Kirin stood in the air over a cliff. Having taken a step, Naruto was already much further from the village and ran faster. Naruto reached the village within 2 hours. Hello, I'm from Konoha. I've arrived to carry out a mission, the brunette said seriously. Yes, go to the headman, said the guard, surprised that a child came to them, but he understood that this child was not simple because he arrived earlier than planned. Naruto went to a village that was very poor due to the looting of bandits. Konoha sent some kids, they don't seem to care about us at all, said the man while drinking cheap sake. He introduced himself as the headman. Where are the bandits and how many are there? Naruto just asked. There are 5 people at the pond, answered the headman. Boy, if you were skilled enough, please save my daughter, the headman also said. Naruto went to the pond, on the other side of the shore where the bandits were. And who did Leviathan contact them this time? Naruto, thanks to my abilities, you can breathe underwater and something else interesting, said the dragon, grinning. After the explanation, he jumped into the water with the wakizashi. Taking off his clothes, Naruto actually breathed underwater and approached the nearest rock, climbed out there and looked out for the bandits' camp. 5, 8, 10, 15, 20, Naruto counted. And half have chakra at the Chunin level, and 3 have Jonin. This is not C rank, but at least B rank, or even A. The fox said, yawning. Okay, let's have some fun, the brunette said, taking out his sword from its sheath. Raiten, lightning star. Aya! Shouted the bandits who received the equipment. What happened? We were attacked. Sensor tracked them. The bandits were shouting. Naruto used Leviathan's ability to control water infused with chakra drops, and now a white lightning bolt appeared in his hand and took the shape of a bow. It was Kirin's ability to make almost anything out of lightning. Naruto pulled a bolt of lightning that appeared out of nowhere. The bandit's sensor noticed an accumulation of chakra on the side of the rock in the lake and wanted to talk about it, but an arrow hit it. The sensor was nailed to a tree and now there was a pretty big hole in it. The rest of the bandits were scared, but several had already died from the dragon from the water. the remaining bandits sent several techniques and destroyed the dragon. The 12 bandits were scared because in less than a minute almost half of them died, even though they were weaklings. A wave was heard, and 2 of the bandits stood with their heads cut off, and between them was a boy holding a wakizashi charged with chakra. The bandits attacked him, but 2 chains broke out of him and repulsed the techniques and pierced those who launched them. Naruto then accumulated fire chakra in his mouth and spat out fire. The fire was strong and almost the entire camp was on fire, and only 3 Jonin bandits remained. 5 were burned alive and 2 were passed out. And you're not bad. But against us you are a corpse. After all, we are a demonic trio. The 3 bandits said and pinned Naruto down. They simultaneously used Doton's pressing prison technique, but Naruto managed to get out thanks to the speed of Kirin and stood on these stones from the technique. All 3 were shocked and decided to shower him with a hail of techniques. Stones flew at Naruto, which he simply cut. The trio used the pressing dungeon again, and this time it was larger, and Naruto did not have time to escape, and the dungeon closed. How do you like this, puppy? One of the trio shouted, but everyone felt the terrifying chakra and the dungeon was blown to hell. Naruto stood covered in red-orange demonic chakra and had 2 tails formed. Demon, you are a demon! Naruto looked at them, and they instantly felt fear. Demon, yes, no one has called me that for a long time, Naruto said emotionlessly. Please let us go, the trio begged, bowing in horror. You are worms that don't deserve to live, Naruto said and crushed all 3. He left the heads intact so that he could seal them later, like the remaining surviving bandits, after which he went to search their camp or what was left of it, where he found a decent amount and several girls. The brunette returned to the village and reported that the bandits had been eliminated, and that he had found money and girls. The girls turned out to be from this village, and the residents thanked the brunette for saving them. Naruto gave the money and the headman took only the amount that the bandits stole. Well, perhaps a little more as compensation. He gave the rest to Naruto, and the amount, although thinned out, still remained large. Naruto also wanted to give up the surviving bandits and unsealed them. The guards and the elder were shocked by their condition. There were many burns. One of them had holes in his stomach, but he was alive. They refused and Naruto decided to throw them in prison and said that the task was at least B rank. The headman asked Naruto for forgiveness for the incorrect information because the bandits always came in groups of 5 people. Naruto said that he was not offended and took the payment as for C rank. On the way back, Naruto went to the auction house and found out information that there was a reward of 800,000 Ryo plus 200,000 Ryo for the demonic trio, that he found even 1,000,000 in the lair, plus a reward from the mission of 2,000. Returning, Naruto met and helped Kagami Uchiha, who was attacked by Shinobi of the Mist. Naruto returned and reported on everything. So the mission was rank B and you killed 3 bandits and sold the heads of the demonic trio, Hashirama said in shock at the state of the bandits and at the amount. Yes, the Hokage herself is the reward for the mission and 500,000 from me, Naruto said. No, I won't accept them, said Hashirama. Then let's play. If I win, you will take them and distribute them to the village budget, and if you win, then I will take them for myself. What are we playing? Naruto and Hashirama played cards and Hashirama lost 3 times in a row. Okay Naruto, you win, but in gratitude I will teach you Irian Ninjutsu, Hashirama said putting away the cards. I'll be glad.